zone, the ageless wonder. The gallery's ready, so turn up the light. A master draws the line on Broadway tonight. Ready? Come on and get ready. I mean, really ready. Are you ready for some football? A Monday night party. This is Hank and I'm ready. Let's get this picture started. Let's paint this town. Do it up right. All my rowdy friends are here on Monday night. Showers in the forecast at the new Meadowlands Stadium tonight. Big game in New York. Both back in front page news all week in New York surrounding Brett Favre and his return. The NFL announcing on Friday it's investigating allegations that while Favre was here with the Jets in 2008, he sent inappropriate messages and photos to a former Jets employee, Jen Sturger. Also reports that Favre sent inappropriate text messages to a couple of team-hired massage therapists. We asked Favre about it last night, about the accuracy of the reports. He did not comment directly, saying this will take its course. He also says he's yet to be contacted by the NFL, and he has no problem talking with the commissioner if asked to. As you've heard, our Chris Mortensen reporting, the league is aggressively investigating the matter, which could lead to discipline under the league's personal conduct policy. And to that end, Michelle Tafoya reported on Countdown that Favre was tearful and highly emotional, apologizing to his Viking teammates at the team's Monday morning meeting for the distraction that the investigation and the allegations may have caused them. So with that backdrop, we get underway tonight. Percy Harvin to receive the kickoff. Jets won the toss, deferred the option to the second half. Off we go with no return, ball out of bounds. And the Vikings will have good field position to start. Pete Morelli, our referee.
40-yard line. First down.
And Favre and the Vikings take the field.
Mike, this field position immediately opens up the playbook for the Minnesota Vikings. If you're backed up, you have to be a little more conservative. This is in that go zone right now.
Favre extending his NFL record of consecutive starts as we get going here in New York. Top of the screen, Moss guarded by Cromartie, takes the reverse, and here comes Randy's first touch. It's a little toss too far for a first down into Jets territory. Look who's here in town.
I gotta give it.
Kidding me?
I'm gonna call this for being too far down the field. It's a handoff to Percy Harvin. Harvin's gonna flip it back to Moss, who's gonna look down the field deep. And he flips it to Brett Favre. Who would have thought that would be the first play, Jaws?
Little trickeration early. All for naught.
Calling of ineligible downfield. Will take it back. So a 5-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage brings it back to the 35-yard line. Richard Favre continuing the longest streak in NFL history, 289 straight starts. And a whistle.
False start. Number 40. Offense. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
We've talked about this all week. This has been a problem for the Minnesota Vikings, especially on offense. They've had way too many offensive penalties, and it starts with the snap count. They use a hard count, a silent count, a quick count. They're jumping off sides way too often, and there's another instance where they kill themselves with a penalty.
And this crowd is ignited, so it's going to be noisy for that offense.
From the 30, here goes Peterson with a carry for 3 yards to the 33-yard line. Introducing to the Minnesota offense. Peterson coming off 2 good games, 145 and 160 yards in the last 2. The acquisition of Moss means Desante Shanko and Percy Harvin may get more things opening for them. Shanko's been the one deep threat so far. Up front, not protecting as well, Steve Hutchinson, a great player, 7 consecutive Pro Bowls. Ryan Cook starts at center. The calf injury continues to be a problem for John Sullivan, who's inactive tonight. Again. Wow.
Number 71. Offense, 5-yard penalty remaining, second down.
I just don't think there's any excuse for this. I realize you're excited. There's a rain delay. But you have to be able to hang in there on the snap count. I think it's the fullback this time. It's Tilton before the ball snap. Load at right tackle. Calm down, and you have to execute early in football games.
And actually, Brett Favre himself is pulling out on the play.
3 penalties tonight, 28 on the season. Peterson bouncing, stopped by Revis, who returns after missing the last 2.5 with a hamstring injury.
Well, Revis, we hear about him as a cover corner, but he comes in here and knifes through and makes a terrific tackle on Adrian Peterson. The edge was set nicely by the offensive line of the Vikings, but Revis comes in and makes the play.
Disastrous series with good field position. The trick play early on. The quarterback was under center. He couldn't go downfield. That's why that flag. 2 motion penalties. And now 3rd and 20. And they will just run with Peterson. They'll gain 15 of them until Sean Ellis stops them. And the Vikings will be forced to punt.
They told us last night in these 3rd and long situations, there's a good chance they're going to run the football away from some of these overload blitzes. That's a safe, high percentage call on 3rd down and 20. Give the ball to a great back, give him some running room, and see what happens.
Jim Leonard goes back. He's had a very good punt return season thus far for New York. 32-yarder, his longest one thus far. Chris Kluwe to kick. Fair catch called for and made by Leonard. There was a lot of traffic in front of him on a 34-yard kick. Jets take over at their own 21 with Mark Sanchez coming off a terrific 3-game stretch. In all the division wins, 8 touchdowns, no picks. Thus the youngest player in NFL history to have 8 TDs and no picks in a 3-game span. What do you like about him, John, in this 3-game stretch?
Well, he's improved in the areas that the coaches wanted to see improvement. He's taking care of the ball. He's making good throws, very good decisions, and he's managing a very complex offensive scheme. I really like the improvement that he's shown for a second-year player.
Play action to Tomlinson. Down the seam for Braylon Edwards, who has played terrific in the last 3 games. 31-yard first down.
Well, you put Braylon Edwards in a tight split, and the Jets are doing a great job of this. Edwards goes right down the 2 deep safeties off of play action in an excellent throw by Sanchez. But when you put a big target like this in a tight split and you don't get a reroute on him, he's a problem for defenses. He's averaging almost 20 yards a catch.
He comes out. The Jets bring in their offensive Swiss Army knife. Brad Smith, who does it all. Top of the screen. Handing to Tomlinson, who gets brought down quickly in Viking territory inside the 45. It's Tomlinson and Sean Green, about equal carries and good productivity from those two, with Dustin Keller, the tight end, who continues to be a go-to red zone guy. Edwards and Santonio Holmes back off the suspension. Up front, a couple of Pro Bowlers there recently in Ferguson and Mangold. Matt Slauson was a big question at left guard. He's replacing Alan Faneca, grading out high here in the first few games. Santonio Holmes on the field, top of the screen. Look for Holmes was covered. Back the other way for Jericho Cotchery is incomplete. We're talking about Santonio Holmes coming in here for the Jets. Cited for marijuana possession back in 08 when he was with the Steelers and suspended for a game. Another violation of the policy was a 4-game suspension. He did play all 4 preseason games, Ron. Do you think that'll translate to what he does here tonight?
I believe he'll still be a little bit rusty, but he's going to get that 25 to 30 snaps. And he looked terrific out at practice on Saturday, and he was chomping at the bit. He was ready to go, and Mark Sanchez feels very comfortable with him.
This is on 4-1.
On 36. Pressure up the middle. Sanchez hit as he threw a jump ball up there. It was incomplete. And the flag comes down back near the pass. Where the secondary was covering, and the Vikings are immediately trying to say it was uncatchable.
I would tend to agree with him. I'm going to call it on the Jets.
That's Ryan, Jets head coach, surprised by Pete Morelli's call.
Pass interference. Number 17 of the offense. Penalty will be declined. 4th down.
Morelli was the referee in the NFC Championship game the Vikings lost. The flag came in very late. Well after that contact. Becomes insignificant, and Greg Camarillo, who the Vikings acquired in a trade from Miami at the start of the season, set for Steve Weatherford's first kick of the night. Nose down, so it tries to stay in the field of play, and caught by Camarillo at the 11. Up to 33 after a poor first drive. Favre back on the field when you come back. All the money the Vikings and Jets have spent, that's about the only thing they haven't bought. The Brooklyn Bridge here in New York, spanning the East River. Back at the new Meadowlands Stadium. We started late because of a weather delay, but has not dampened the enthusiasm of the crowd. From the 11, Adrian Peterson left for 4 yards to the 15-yard line. Jaws, what was going on with Randy Moss in the first series?
Yeah, in that first series, it was Antonio Cromartie matching up to Randy Moss all 3 snaps. And Cromartie matched up him when Moss was with the New England Patriots in that second half of that game. And right now, it looked to me like Randy Moss is being a little bit coy. He's going to set up that route. He's not going to go full go. He knows that he's the featured receiver.
Four official plays, 4 Peterson runs. It's now 5 for 5. That's a couple of yards for Adrian as Calvin Pace and Sione Boua make the tackle.
Look, I think Adrian Peterson, just like you guys, is the guy right now in pro football, running the ball. But these third down situations, remember, they're missing Chester Taylor, who caught a lot of passes in third down. He picked up a lot of blitzes. They still haven't found that third down back to do the role that Chester Taylor did last year. Keep an eye on that as this game unfolds.
Moss, one of 3 receivers on 3rd and 4. Jets bring the pressure from Favre's left. Brought down and sacked by Drew Coleman, the backup cornerback.
This is what the New York Jets do. They attack the line of scrimmage. They attack the quarterback. Drew Coleman, number 30, comes flying in untouched. You'll see the quick pressure. Favre had no chance. But what Brett has to do is recognize he had Randy Moss singled up at the top. Drop that foot, plant it in the ground, and throw the quick go to Randy Moss. That's the opportunity.
Jets put 2 back to receive the punt of Kluwe, and they pressure them and rushed him. Kyle Wilson, the rookie, comes to get it in Viking territory. Returns it 7 yards, and the Jets, with a 29-yard net punt, will take over at the 40. Great field position as the Vikings try to figure out what's going on offense. Second possession for the Jets. First one went into Viking territory. This one starts on Minnesota's side of midfield.
This is where Brian Schottenheimer loves to take shots. Just outside the red zone. We call this the fringe.
Brad Smith comes in motion. Tomlinson takes, eludes a tackle. There goes LT. Beat him a dozen. First down, Tomlinson.
Take a look at the motion. They are trying to really occupy Jared Allen with this ghost coming over the top. You're going to see motion come to try to control Jared Allen. They're going to hand the ball inside to Tomlinson and try to get him a one-on-one, and LT's done this all year. He's been able to make the first guy miss, but they're going to really try to neutralize Jared Allen on the backside of some of these runs.
John, the Vikings in the perfect defense. At the safety coming down, you have to make the tackle. It's that simple.
down. Sanchez. Edwards went up very high. Couldn't get it covered by Antoine Winfield. While we show you the other 10 defending, at least the starting defenders, along with Winfield. John told you trying to occupy Jared Allen. Calm down that pass rush he usually brings. Just 1 sack in 3 games for Jared. The Williams wall playing well up there in the middle. Linebacking core, E.J. Henderson suffered a nasty broken leg last year. He's come back, in Greenway and Lieber on the sides. Good linebacking core. Cedric Griffin's back after the torn ACL in the NFC title game. His second game back with Winfield and Abdullah and Williams, safeties. "31-year-old number 21, LaDainian Tomlinson, another first down." Good blocking by Coxery and Mangold.
That's one way to slow a pass rush down. Just go to a trap play, an inside trap. Take a look at the left guard, pull, and they're going to trap Kevin Williams, the 3 technique over the right guard. It's a bang-bang, zero-hole trap. And when you catch them, that's a beautiful thing. Nice play selection on 2nd and long by the New York Jets.
Like he told you when he visited on the bus, that jump cut, it's all back. 17 yards on that one. One yard on that one. Jaws, a lot of people said Tomlinson was about done in San Diego. And then when they decided to move on, he had a choice. Either the Vikings or the Jets. Talked to both. Ended up in New York in part because of his familiarity with Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator.
And he's the perfect complement for this offense. He has every phase of the game you want in a running back. We all know what a terrific runner he is. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, and in those 3rd down situations, he's an outstanding blocker. LT's got his quickness back, and boy, he's fun to watch.
Sanchez to Tomlinson. That was snuffed out by Chad Greenway. The linebacker was playing at a Pro Bowl level last year and off to a good start this year. Good stop.
Very good stop. But Tomlinson, we had a chance to spend a lot of time with him over the last couple months. He loves being a New York Jet. He's sincere about it. He loves this offense. He loves the running game. And he really likes this offensive line. He likes his center, and these offensive linemen know what they're doing, and they're physical.
Time. Tomlinson. And again, back-to-back plays by Greenway, who's going to be big here tonight. Field goal attempt coming.
You play this Tampa 2 defense. You count on your outside linebackers to read the quarterback and tackle. He's going to drop. He's going to read Sanchez. As soon as he gets the ball to LaDainian, bang. Open field tackle, no yards after the catch. Greenway leads the Vikings in tackles. He's made a few already.
Nick Folk has the lowest percentage of the active kickers from 30 and in. This is from 25. No problem there. Steve Weatherford, the punter, was the holder. Jets on the board first. A good Tomlinson run to that drive. Put New York up 3. We're seeing a couple of good running backs tonight. How about next Monday, too? Chris Johnson from Tennessee, Maurice Jones-Drew from Jacksonville. The Titans and Jaguars are tied for the division lead. And we'll see them next Monday night, 8:30 Eastern. You guys don't think Randy Moss will be traded there, so we see him 3 weeks in a row?
No, I don't think so.
No, he's not going to follow us?
That would be a record.
Percy Harvin back deep for the Nick Folk kickoff. Couple of hops, couldn't handle it. Looked like a brave second baseman. Harvin takes it up to the 30-yard line. Couple of drives, no first downs from Minnesota. Let's see what Brett and the guys in purple do after this. As we get the Vikings' 3rd drive going, John, the last play of the last drive, a 3rd down.
Well, we said the 3rd down back is going to have to pick up some blitzes. Take a look at Tahi. One of the reasons you're in a shotgun is so you can scan. You can scan from right to left and come underneath Brett Favre for this pickup. That should be a routine pickup for the Vikings. They've got to do a lot better than that to give this guy any kind of chance to throw the ball against this defense.
Favre, Oakland throwing his 500th touchdown pass tonight. It's Percy Harvin on the run, and he gets to midfield for a gain of 19 and a first down. And the speed of Harvin evident there.
Yeah, and Rodney Poole makes a terrific play. As you'll see, Percy Harvin off the quick inside fake. Adrian Peterson, he gets the ball on the edge, and this is where Harvin is at his best. In space, I expect to see the Vikings try to do more of that tonight.
The confusion in the Jets secondary as Favre takes the shot for Moss, broken up by Cromartie. So it's been all Cromartie on Moss, like it was the second half of the Patriots game.
Well, this is worth the price of admission. Single coverage, bump and run, man-to-man, Randy Moss against Antonio Cromartie. Favre puts the ball up. You're going to see 3 or 4 more of those tonight. But Cromartie, you can see how he matches up with the bigger Randy Moss. He's got long arms and long levers himself. I think that size matchup is why he's covering Moss.
No question about it. Rex Ryan told us he likes that matchup, the 6'2" Cromartie on the 6'4" Moss.
Did a good job grabbing his jersey as well on the way down. Second and 10, an all-passing series. Favre gets out, gets a couple of yards. They want a penalty for hitting Favre, but Sione Baua, the nose tackle, hit it while he was on the green. So nothing there. It'll be interesting with Favre and Moss. These are 2 of the great sandlot players of all time. They are not by the book and by the number. So it'll be interesting to see how many times they test that here tonight.
Oh, Favre told us Randy Moss doesn't know the West Coast offense. I'm going to do what Randy Moss can do. And if I see him in a one-on-one situation, I'm ripping it. And I might even throw it up into double coverage because Moss did that to me in Green Bay all those years. He's looking for this matchup all night. Trust me.
Like Favre's never done that before. Throw it up into double coverage. 3rd and 8. Here's the Jets pressure coming from behind. Favre hit as he throws, and it's almost intercepted. Cutting underneath was Rodney Poole. He and Cromartie bump each other and couldn't get it.
Well, Brett Favre had no business throwing the ball over there. You'll see the double coverage, basically Rodney Poole playing over the top. You'll see him come over the top of Randy Moss. Cromartie in the bump and run position. There is no room to throw this football. This is an ill-advised throw by Brett Favre. That's throwing, John, like you said, right into double coverage.
Jim Leonard, fair catch of Fluey's punt. Happens at the 12-yard line. 3 possessions, 3 punts for Favre, and the Jets have hit him a couple of times here in this opening quarter. When the Jets were crowning themselves Super Bowl champs in August, this is what we thought we'd see. A lot of those offensive guys going strong. Now they have Brad Smith under center at quarterback. Sean Green in the backfield, and he hands to Green for about 3 yards. We mentioned Brad Smith and all the things the former college quarterback at Missouri can do.
Yeah, these are well-rehearsed plays. They practice them every week. The thing you have to know about Brad Smith is not only can he throw, he will throw. He threw a touchdown pass last week against Buffalo. He threw a long one to Cotchery in the playoffs last year against the Colts. But they have a unique package, and they'll use that 3 to 4 times in a game.
And he can throw like a quarterback, and that's the difference.
He made good choice down in the red zone, I thought, against Buffalo. Throwing to Keller for a touchdown last week. Sanchez is back in, and he's brought down. Ray Edwards starts it. Jimmy Kennedy joins him for the Vikings' first sack of the night.
You know, this Ray Edwards, he's the Rodney Dangerfield of this front 4. Watch Ray Edwards get off the ball and beat Damian Woody quickly to the outside for an easy sack. They do an excellent job rushing the passer in Minnesota. They get inside push from Jimmy Kennedy and Ray Edwards, who had 8.5 sacks last year. He's kind of the unsung hero of this front 4. Everybody talks about Allen. Don't forget about Ray Edwards tonight.
And Kennedy, former first-round pick of the Rams back in 03. 3rd and long. And a quick shot to Jericho Cotchery. Got a block from Santonio Holmes to set him free for the first down. Flag down. Holmes was throwing the block.
Holding. Number 10, offense. 10-yard penalty still. Third down.
You can hear these guys jawing up here. Just a quick bubble screen.
You'll see right there, Santonio Holmes, number 10. You can see that hole right there. He's got him clear. Holding that jersey, pulling him down. And he complained about that one?
That was a long-term hole.
Hey. Woo. Excited to be on the field, though. That's for sure.
After the 4 weeks that he was suspended, Holmes is very much anticipating tonight when we sat with him Saturday and met at the Jets facility. So Tomlinson on 3rd and long runs it right to the marker and gets a first down at the 25. 3rd and 15, they run it and get it.
Boy, it's hard to get that scheme twice against this front. It's a quick trap again. They're going to trap Kevin Williams right here with the left guard pulling, and it hits quick and easy right up the gut. No one's there. Great execution. That's one way to slow down the Williams brothers inside. Just a back block, a quick trap. Off goes Tomlinson. 2 nice traps here in the first quarter.
Boy, Brandon Moore, that guy's just an underrated right guard, dominating.
Back to Brad Smith in their Seminole package, what the Jets call it. Straight run for Smith. He cuts back and gets 4 yards to the 29-yard line. John, you made a point when we did a preseason game during the OTAs back in the spring, and Sanchez was coming back from a knee injury, and Brad Smith handled all the quarterback stuff.
Yeah, Sanchez is over there with me watching practice. I said, who's this quarterback taking all these reps? Bill Callahan says it's Brad Smith. And he can throw the football on the move. He can throw it in the pocket. He knows what he's doing.
Jets bringing an extra offensive lineman, Wayne Hunter. We've got 1 extra O-lineman to the right. Play action with it. Caught by the fullback, John Connor. And the first down, the rookie out of Kentucky.
You know, the formations, they just drive you crazy. They bring in Wayne Hunter, a big offensive lineman, to play tight end. They bring the Terminator, John Connor, the fullback, in motion. They create an I formation, and they slam it in there. They throw a play-action pass. A lot of different looks early.
One offense looks good, one doesn't. After one, Jets 3, Vikings nothing. Jets didn't allow a point, shut out the opponent in the first quarter, all 5 games this season. That's a New York Jets record, and every other number in this opening quarter favoring the Jets. The Vikings offense just does not look in sync or sharp yet to this point. Randy Moss has been thrown to a couple of times and covered by Cromartie. Any surprises so far on the Vikings offensive side, Josh?
Yeah, their lack of offense, really. I thought we'd see more Adrian Peterson, more of the power running game. They're kind of spreading it out. Just haven't been successful doing that.
Second-year man out of Iowa, Sean Green, is the back for the Jets. Sanchez threw for Cotchery, and that one just got away from him. A.J. Henderson with some pressure.
Well, LaDainian Tomlinson, people were worried about, wait, what's left in the tank of LT? Well, the lateral agility is still there, and that's always been the key to his game, making people miss. There, Ben Lever has him in the hole, can't make the tackle. LaDainian Tomlinson looks like LaDainian that we saw as a league MVP many times. The quickness, the speed, the vision, the power, all there.
Again, the Jets, an extra offensive lineman. Green runs left, keeps his balance to gain 3 yards.
I want to go back to this Viking defense. You get all excited about these traps and these plays here and there. They've given up 3 points. And this Minnesota defense this season has done an excellent job in scoring defense. And tonight, if Minnesota doesn't turn the football over, this defense is plenty good enough to win a game for you on the road, Jaws.
We're seeing a lot of snaps right now, though, John. Their offense for the Vikings has to sustain some drives, get their defense some oxygen on the sideline.
3rd and 6. The slant is caught by Holmes into Viking territory for first down.
Welcome. They're going after Asher Allen, second-year player out of Georgia. Just a quick bang-bang slant route by Santonio Holmes. And Asher Allen's playing outside technique. Great catch by Santonio Holmes, and that's a confident delivery by Mark Sanchez. Big third down conversion.
Super Bowl 43 MVP. His first regular season grab as a Jet. Tomlinson now the running back. LT gains about 5 yards. Santonio Holmes, he was discussing with us the difference between being in Pittsburgh with Roethlisberger and being here with the Jets.
Well, he felt that here with the Jets, it was a very disciplined system. Everything had to be in sync. The timing rhythm of the passing game was critical. And in Pittsburgh, it was more of a reactionary system. They would react to the extended play of Ben Roethlisberger, almost a playground style.
Play action to Green. Sanchez shot for home. Couldn't get to it. Deep coverage with E.U. Williams. No flag and a Sports Center right now with Trey Wingo.
All right, Michael, thank you. Brett Favre's consecutive start streak legendary, but the guy replacing him in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, it may end at 37. He suffered a concussion on this play Sunday. He's going to miss practice time and could miss the game against the Dolphins. Meanwhile, Adam Schefter reporting to make up for the trade that they sent Randy Moss to the Vikings. The Patriots have reacquired former Super Bowl MVP Deion Branch, who won it when he was a member of the Patriots. Back to you guys.
And that had been discussed on both sides of that exchange during the week. Jets going to take a timeout here as they're bringing Brad Smith out in their Seminole formation. A couple of minutes through the second. Jets up by just a field goal. Jets called the timeout. 35 for Gang Green. Protection for Sanchez. Braylon Edwards hand fighting with Cedric Griffin. Has hit him, but he couldn't hang on.
That was a very dangerous throw by Mark Sanchez. See Sanchez here. Here's the one-on-one on the outside. You got Griffin on Braylon Edwards. Kind of stops on the route. Griffin just didn't turn around. He might have had to pick.
Ready to catch it.
Yeah. Bounced right between a 1 and a 7.
Weatherford's very good at pinning the opponent deep. Going to get one there. Stopped inside the 5. Marquise Cole. Part of the outstanding special teams for the Jets with the coverage. Brett Favre back here in New York, of course, was a big story. August 7, 2008, when Brett showed up here as a New York Jet after leaving Green Bay. They didn't want to trade him in the division, trade him to New York. The big welcome. What would it mean to the Jets? The mayor, Mayor Bloomberg, gave him the Broadway sign, gave him not the key to the city, but a key ring. Jets got off to a terrific start. After starting 8-3, though, they went 1-4, finished 9-7. Woody Johnson, who brought Favre in part to create buzz, excitement, helped sell some of the personal seat licenses in this stadium. All of that was part of 2008 with the Jets. Then he retired and ended up a Viking now in year 2. Adrian Peterson gets a yard. David Harris comes with the tackle. Talk about that Favre story with the Jets here in 2008. And Ron, it was the torn biceps tendon we eventually found out. That was part of the reason he was so poor the last 5 games.
No question. He was very inaccurate those last 5 games, and he struggled, you know, with that accuracy. He struggled moving his team, and clearly, you look at the last 5 games, 1 win, 4 losses. But you can blame a lot of that on the injury.
You know what it was? It was a rest stop. It's a rest stop from Minnesota to Green Bay. Had to connect on that flight. Peterson seeking space. He takes it out past the 11-yard line. Brian Thomas, David Harris with the tackle.
The Vikings have to get back to power football. This is not an athletic line that they have. They just got to keep feeding the ball to Adrian Peterson, try to sustain some offense. It's obvious they tried to get the big plays early. They were ineffective. They need to just get a first down. They've only got 1 so far.
bottom of your street. Jim Leonard's pressure, hits far, put it up for grabs. Incomplete. Third down pressure, Jets dominating Minnesota.
Well, it's good coverage down the field, and it's good pressure by the New York Jets right up the middle. You're going to see David Harris and Bart Scott keying on the back right there, and Adrian Peterson misses another pickup. The Vikings are struggling from a backfield standpoint. This is not something Adrian Peterson has done throughout his career. That's the second time on third down they failed to pick up what looks like a pretty routine blitz.
Fourth punt for Chris Kluwe. 49-yarder. Kyle Lowry took it. Kyle Wilson, I should say. Penalty marker down as he's brought down at the 38-yard line.
Brett Favre right now got to wondering where all these green jerseys are coming from. Clean shots right at Brett Favre.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 34 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
The Jets
Timeout.
Marquise Cole. Vikings offense, 13 plays, 46 yards, 1 first down. They're now number 1 in the nation, the Buckeyes of Ohio State. They will take on Wisconsin. And they've been talking about that game in Madison for a year. Prime time, Saturday night, 7 Eastern on ESPN. Number 1 Ohio State. Taking on Brett Bielema's Badgers. Looking forward to that one. Second year out of USC. Mark Sanchez takes over. There goes Tomlinson again. They are carving him up. Flag down back at the hole where Tomlinson came through.
And this will be holding against the Jets.
Holding. Number 49 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, the Jets are really running this inside zone handoff with the ghost over the top to control Jared Allen. That one hit big. Let's see if we can see Tony Richardson, the fullback, on a holding call. But take a look at the reverse over the top. It neutralizes the backside. I guess I can see that.
And his arm wrapped around him, John. Another formation variation. They're mixing it up.
He's going to get tripped up there in the wash and only gain a yard or two. Jared Allen coming down in there. Allen was talking about how tonight his team needed to hit Mark Sanchez when they got their opportunities. He felt if they could get them into third and longs and known situations, the 3-time Pro Bowler would get his chance to tee off on the quarterback.
It all starts with stopping the run and getting the Jets in second and long like they have them right here. This is a fun down for these Minnesota Viking defensive linemen. They love to get after you with their pass rush.
Yeah, and the last time they did an inside trap, gashed him for 25 yards on third and long.
Sanchez, shot for Santonio Holmes. Adjusted to it in air, couldn't pull it in. They continue to work on Asher Allen, the second-year corner out of Georgia.
Well, when you get the one-on-one matchup and Santonio Holmes, take your shot one-on-one. He's got the size advantage. You'll see Sanchez here. He gives a little pump inside. Knows he got the one-on-one on the outside. Almost a terrific catch by Santonio Holmes.
Take a look at DeBrickshaw Ferguson. He's a Pro Bowler himself. He gets no help on the outside. He holds up very nicely against Jared Allen. This DeBrickshaw Ferguson, he's got arms that hang down to the ground. You gotta love the progress this guy's made in the last couple of years.
Third and long. And a pass by Sanchez into traffic is incomplete.
That's a very good series by the Minnesota defense because it gives the Vikings a chance to get some field position. They've been backed up their last 2 series. Camarillo back deep here with a chance to give the Vikings some much-needed field position.
Sanchez been incomplete now in his last 4 passes. Weatherford kicking. Good high, long one. 51 yards. Pair caught by Camarillo. Vikings take over at the 27. Played 20 minutes. Jets defense has allowed 1 Viking first down. Start of our game delayed about 40 minutes. Heavy weather, couple of series of thunderstorms came through the New York area. Still showers in the forecast tonight. Vikings need a wake-up call on offense. Nothing doing against the Jets so far. Peterson, couple of yards. Big headlines coming in. Randy Moss, what's it going to mean? What are the adjustments Moss has coming to Minnesota?
Well, he's got to learn all the formation, and trust me, there's a million of them. He's got to learn the name of all these routes, how the routes adjust against cover 2, man-to-man, bump and run, split adjustments. Everybody has different rules. Hand signals, 2-minute offense. What are the signals? And how about reacting to Brett Favre's style? He's not playing with Tom Brady. Just lining up and playing with Brett Favre a week after Tom Brady has got to be difficult.
Toby Gerhart, Heisman runner-up a year ago from Stanford, comes in. No gain. Third down coming, Jaws.
Yeah, and Randy Moss has been struggling getting anything going tonight. Antonio Cromartie just gets in his face, right in his grill at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there. Again, you'll see the bail technique. No separation at all from Randy Moss. Almost intercepted. Again, no fear by Antonio Cromartie. Right at the hip of Randy Moss. He can't shake him loose. No separation.
And here's Gerhart in the backfield as the protector. This is maximum protection time to give Favre a shot.
Jets rush 6. They're picked up. Pass not even close to Harvin. Blanketed by Coleman. Another 3-and-out for the Vikings.
And Brett's clearly out of rhythm. You have to wonder if Brett is healthy. You know, there's been rumors about the elbow, the tendonitis. That time they kept Gerhart in. They kept Shanko in. They gave him the protection he needed. That play had no chance. Nobody open, but the throw, Ron, didn't have anything on it.
Yeah, that's the only place he could throw it, John, because he would have thrown it anywhere else. It probably would have been intercepted. Excellent coverage by the Jets secondary.
Another kick for Cluey. Wasn't very good. Got a good bounce. It hit a Viking, so it's a 38-yard kick, and the Jets will take over at the 32. They did an MRI on Favre's elbow this week. There is tendonitis. Right now, there's not a lot of productivity. We'll feel what the fans in this large lower bowl get. The new Meadowlands Stadium, $1.7 billion to build it. Going to host Super Bowl 48, 2014. Shared, of course, by the Giants and the Jets in equal partnership. Jets leading 3-0. Offenses have been shut down by good defenses thus far for the first quarter and a half. Takes the pass. Sean Green the run for a couple of 2 yards. C.J. Henderson and Hussein Abdullah made the tackle.
You know, talk about a complimentary back.
As we have one of the Vikings shaken up.
Robinson. But Sean Green, big back.
Sharing the load with LaDainian Tomlinson as they look at Brian Robinson. Will step out for a second. One defensive end just hurt. The other defensive end, Jared Allen, being stopped so far.
Well, Jared's got 73 sacks since 04, but DeBrickshaw Ferguson isn't giving him a sniff tonight. Ferguson has done an excellent job pass protecting without much help.
Brian Robinson, the man who was injured on the last play, hopped off and looking at his right ankle. Meantime, Sanchez on second down, a little bootleg and a throw complete to Braylon Edwards. On the sideline by Jared Allen, but a first down and a gain of 11.
This is where Mark Sanchez has excelled over the last 3 games. Getting outside the pocket off the bootleg action. You'll see a really nice extension of the football. That draws the defense over, keeps that illusion of run. He actually looked downfield for the potential big play to Keller. It wasn't there, so he checked it down to Braylon Edwards. Stayed with the progression. Boy, did a real nice job of getting on the edge of the defense.
Complete to home, 36. First down, gain of 19.
That's a great throw by Mark Sanchez. Not many teams motion to an empty backfield and give their linemen no help. But Sanchez looks right down the field. He gets pressure from his backside. There you see the eye manipulation you talk about, John.
Hey, good,
but
John.
watch
You're learning.
the throw. I love the way Sanchez hung in the pocket. It's a nice route by Holmes. Heck of a throw and catch. But the poise in the pocket made that play. Good protection once again.
Brad Smith under center. Straight handoff to Sean Green. That'll gain a yard. This is the 4th time Sanchez and the Jets offense have been in Minnesota territory. They only have 3 points to go for.
Well, the Jets do a great job running the football. And off of the run, they get their run action. They can run bootlegs, play action passes. And those are high percentage plays. And Brian Schottenheimer doing a nice job mixing it up on first down. I like Sanchez in this offense.
Well, the running game only keeps the game close. Eventually, you're going to need some explosive plays on the passing game. And the Jets certainly have some in their repertoire.
The 35 pressure picked up. Pass incomplete for Cotchery as Antoine Winfield sliding inside was there on the cover.
You know, not anybody talks about backs picking up blitzes, but take a look at LaDainian Tomlinson. Stick his face in here against Chad Greenway. You got to love those things. That's one area that the Jets excel at, and that's an area that the Minnesota Vikings struggle at. And as an ex-QB, Jaws,
You love the guy that can pick it up. We've
picks it
seen
up.
the Vikings have trouble with it, and you just saw how to do it by LT.
From here, the field goal is about 53 yards. Sanchez comes right. Holmes dropped it. Incomplete. Santonio was wondering how it was going to feel to take a hit. He has not played football, only able to really do conditioning drills over the 4 weeks that he was away. Didn't hang on there. Long field goal
But
coming.
what a great throw by Mark Sanchez. Once again, he looks to his left. He knows he's got the isolation single route, quick slant from Santonio Holmes to his right. He moved the underneath coverage and threw a strike. Holmes could not hold on.
Nick Folk has made a couple of 50-yard field goals at the end of games to decide them, whether it's at the end of regulation or in overtime. This one from 53 is good. Big field goal for the guy who won the job for the Jets this year. And New York's up 6. Jets looking to improve to 4-1. Their defense has limited Minnesota to 1 first down. Folk just kicked the field goal over 50 yards, 6-0 New York. And Percy Harvin with a lot of space to get started. And the sideline at the 25-yard line. Marcus Coleman, or Drew Coleman, I should say, with the tackle. How about the Vikings and their drives so far? Their first 5 drives, only 1 first down picked up. Everything else has been 3 and kick.
No, it's been ugly. And I really am waiting for the Vikings to put Randy Moss in motion to try to back off some of this bump and run coverage. And Ron, I don't know about you. I think Favre's arm is hurt.
How about maybe a little max pro and give a pattern of time to develop down the field right now? It doesn't look like a team that's had 2 weeks to prepare for the Jets.
From the 25, Favre rolling, looking for space, going down. Calvin Pace bringing him down, and the penalty marker back there as well. A look on Pace's face.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask. Number 97 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's a big call. Take a look at Favre. He's going to come out of this fake, and Pace is going to grab him by the face mask. Good call. And Pete Morelli, he's the referee that was in the NFC Championship game last year that Brad Childress really had a lot of disagreements with regarding the hits on Favre.
Right.
Big turn of events there.
So they get it at the 31, just their second first down. Favre finds Kleinstops with the tight end for about 5 yards. There are a couple of issues here with Favre. We talked about the right elbow. They had MRI on it, found little inflammation. Now, he didn't have that before the bye week. It's something that came on when they came back after the bye week. So that's a concern. Remember, this is a guy who turned 41 yesterday. Since he came back, he's already had 5 shots in his ankle, a series of shots in his left ankle that was surgically repaired. We hope that it would lubricate it and keep it from being painful as the season went on. There is his completion to Moss, first hookup of the night for them. and a first down at the 42.
There goes Brett Favre with the quick count. He walks up there while the Jets are getting set, snaps it on a quick count. Quick give to Randy Moss. First down, Vikings.
Didn't look like there's anything wrong with his arm on the last couple throws. He got him out of his hand quick, good rotation, spin on the football. He's trying to get this offense a little up-tempo right now. Quick count.
And they lost the ball on the way through, and the Jets have recovered. Bart Scott with the recovery.
You have a new center, Ryan Cook, replacing John Sullivan, who's inactive tonight. And you're going to get mistakes like that. And that turnover in this field position kills an offense. You'll look at the separation in Brett's hands right there. You've got to keep those palms tight. Brett Favre clearly didn't look like a veteran quarterback right there. That was on Favre.
Good call, Jaws, on that first look. You always look for that first hand separation.
Hand separation, right? Our camera in right on that, a great angle. You could see it, the ball slid right through.
Jets, 5th time in Viking territory in the game's first 26 minutes. Tomlinson turns his back and takes it down to the 43-yard line. That fumble by Brett Favre. You know, we talk about how he has all these records. Well, that was his 161st career fumble, and that ties another all-time NFL record, tying Warren Moon for the most fumbles in National Football League history. So to go with the yards and the wins and the consecutive starts and the completions, the attempts, yada-da, yada-da. Picks and fumbles, too. Jets going to be forced to burn a second timeout as the play clock was running down. Sloppy half. Defenses are good. The Vikings trying to find the right page. Injury update for the Vikings. Brian Robinson, the backup defensive end, taken to the locker room to check on his ankle. His return questionable. They haven't dressed Fred Evans and Everson Griffin tonight, so really only down to a couple of defensive ends for Minnesota. Their starters, Jared Allen and Ray Edwards. Second down, play action for Sanchez. It's knocked down by Ben Lieber, the weak side linebacker who's part of some good defenses with the Chargers and here in Minnesota.
And that's a nice play on the backside. The Jets do a great job bringing in their big offensive lineman, Wayne Hunter, to play tight end. And they're going to make this look like a power play. And Sanchez is going to come up firing. But this ball is well read by Lieber. They had Holmes wide open. This Ben Lieber and Chad Greenway, these two outside linebackers, do a phenomenal job covering people in this cover 2 scheme.
They're down, pressure off the edge for Sanchez. He drills a shot to Dustin Keller, the tight end, and right at the first down mark. Gonna have to check the spot.
That'll be a first down, Mike. And Mark Sanchez loves to go to Dustin Keller at crunch time. It's a third down situation, and you'll see the stick right in there between the in and out coverage. This is when you have confidence and trust in your tight end. As you see the double coverage right from Henderson and Abdullah, the ball was squeezed in by Sanchez.
Friendly spot there to get him all the way to the actual 36-yard line, but enough for the first for the Jets. Tomlinson left. His penetration by the Vikings. Troy Guion, third-year defensive lineman out of Florida State.
That's what you have to do in this one-gap scheme that the Vikings play. You have to get penetration. And LaTroy Guion, a young guy they really like. Picked him out of Florida State a couple years ago. Does a nice job jetting up the field, disrupting that play.
Jets in no rush here. Going to take it down to the 2-minute warning. So Randy and Brett try to figure out how they can get the Vikings offense going. They're very lucky for all the snaps and all the possessions that the Jets have had it in Viking territory. 6 points allowed so far. Jets 6, Vikings nothing. New York trying to add to the lead at the 2-minute warning. Our game started late because of rain. You see some raindrops. One of our meteorologist buddies from Philadelphia just texted another storm is on the way. So brace for that. 2nd and 12 for the Jets, leading 6-0. Sanchez, couple of fakes, now a shot for Santonio Holmes. Judy, Antoine Winfield chasing him.
Well, Sanchez loves to take shots right in this field position. Here's just a straight go route by. And that's a matchup they've been looking for. Antoine Winfield, who's more of a cover 2 corner, playing man-to-man coverage against a guy they think can really deliver, Santonio Holmes.
Had a couple of rumbles of thunder that have sent a lot of the fans scurrying for the exits. A couple of bolts of lightning as well. This is 3rd down for the Jets. 3rd and 12. Sanchez protected the ball nicely and throws the first down to Jericho Cotchery at the 25.
You talk about poise in the pocket. Eyes downfield with bodies around you. Sanchez, tremendous awareness in the pocket. Completes it for the first down and get this offense right back at the line of scrimmage. Playing like a wily old veteran.
In a major downpour we told you was on the way. Sanchez flipping to Tomlinson so he can get set up to get knocked down by Chad Greenway, and now it's even hard to see the intensity of the rain and everybody getting out of the way. Clock running with 1:11 to go.
The problem is you can't change the ball, so you're going to have to deal with a wet ball in this situation.
Yeah, we get a whistle for a false start. Again, our game was delayed getting started. They cleared the stadium twice because of lightning in the area. Much more aware of that in recent times.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
We got Toyota halftime show coming up back in the dry studio with Boomer. Chris Mortz and Adam Schefter, fastest 3 minutes. Update on Aaron Rodgers and his injury from yesterday. And will Colt McCoy be the starter against Pittsburgh for Cleveland on Sunday? Details coming on the Toyota halftime show. Wow, look at this.
Thank goodness it's not snow.
Yeah, it is hard to even see the field. Brad Smith's up at the top of the screen. Sanchez throws underneath, caught by Braylon Edwards. Tackle missed by Winfield. Edwards to the 14-yard line, first down.
Well, this Braylon Edwards makes a lot of plays, and Sanchez is going to clock it. Plenty of time, just keep your poise.
Doing so with 46 seconds left. It's 2nd down.
You know, Mark Sanchez and his offensive line have done an excellent job in these conditions. Watch Braylon Edwards run right through a tackle, keep his balance, and rally for a first down to give the Jets a new set here in the tight red zone. But I really am impressed with the way Mark Sanchez and this offensive line have hung in there against the front 4 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, with this rain just pouring down, ball security critical.
It's like a shower is opened up at this point. You know, just straight rain down. From the 14, high snap, good job to get it. Sanchez throws to Tomlinson with a shake and a move. First and goal at the 4. One timeout. Can Clocker to take the timeout. Rex wants to stop it with 34 seconds left. Jets out of timeouts.
Well, it's just a real soft Tampa 2 red zone coverage, and Mark Sanchez just drops it down to Tomlinson, who's his security blanket, and LT doesn't waste time after the catch. He splits people, knows exactly where the first down marker is, does all he can to rally for as much as he can get. But what a football player in addition to the Jets, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Quick welcome to the folks who are watching the San Francisco Giants eliminate the Atlanta Braves, move on to the National League Championship Series against the Phillies. Won the game 3-2, won the series 3-1. Here, Favre and Moss in the Vikings offense, just 52 yards, not much from Brett and Randy. Jets have been on Minnesota's side of midfield all night. In a driving rainstorm, chance to add to the 6-0 lead.
The Jets love to run right here and move Sanchez.
In trouble, Sanchez throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for Edwards, no flag down there. Hussein Abdullah, the safety, came with the pressure.
Here comes Jericho Cotchery, and this is a situation that they love to look for Cotchery in tight splits. They put Cotchery in tight formations. They love to run double moves. I fully expect Sanchez to look for his go-to veteran receiver in this tight red zone.
A little stick route he runs so well.
Little stick nod.
29 seconds. Jets out of timeouts. Still enough time to run the ball here and kill it if you wanted to. They will throw. Sanchez back in the end zone. Cotchery got open. Incomplete. No flag. Third down coming.
Well, he had him. Jericho Cotchery comes in the game in these close to the goal line red zone passes, and he loves to run this little stick out to the outside. Watch him break to the outside and then back to the post, and he fooled Griffin. They had a wide open touchdown. I'm surprised they missed that.
They've been tipped by big Pat Williams coming up the middle.
Tomlinson in the slot. The backfield's empty on 3rd and goal. Sanchez throws incomplete for Dustin Keller. And in these wet conditions, the Jets will try a field goal.
It's tough to play quarterback in New York. I'll tell you what. All this wind, all this rain. Sanchez has a good look to Cotchery, and really a good look right here to Dustin Keller on the outside break. Tough conditions.
Yeah, Keller had a chance to make that catch. It slid right between his hands. Ball's just soaking wet right now. They put it down on that field. Nothing but water.
And tough for the holder, Weatherford, the snapper, Tanner Purdom as well. Operation done quite well, and the field goal good to give the Jets a 9-0 lead.
And a 9-point lead, it feels like it's a 25-point lead. The Vikings really need to get in the locker room at halftime, regroup, Ron, and come out in the second half with something on offense to get some life back in this football team.
Well, there's no tempo of their offense, and Brett Favre has been under duress, under pressure. They've had a tough time identifying where the pressure's coming from. Here, Tahi's the back. Here's the illusion of pressure. It's coming right at Tahi. No, it's not. They bail out, and it comes from the backside. He does not scan, and Favre goes down. Again, now let's go to Adrian Peterson. Put him in on 3rd down. Again, the Jets, the illusion of pressure. Here it comes. They bring one more than you can block. Favre takes another hit. Brett Favre, right now, you can see he's been hit 5 times already, sacked twice, hurried, and his offense has done nothing in this first half.
So far, special teams coach Mike Westhoff of the Jets has been very careful with Percy Harvin. He kicked one out of bounds to start the game. He squibbed it. Later in the football game, I expect him to not give Percy Harvin anything good to look at here.
Harvin took 2 kickoffs back for touchdown in his rookie year last year. Made the Pro Bowl as the kick returner from the NFC. From the 15. Space there, past Brad Smith. And still on the sideline, 40. 1-yard line. All right, there was a lot of talk of what would Favre plus Moss equal. And when I asked you right at the start of the game, you said you didn't think a lot because this is really short, just 3 days to prepare. Is this what you thought you'd say?
Well, I didn't think the Vikings would be this stagnant on offense, but this isn't Major League Baseball where you take a third baseman, you just put him on your team and put him in the lineup. Randy Moss has a lot to learn in this system. It's going to be a work in progress, but I did not expect the Vikings to be shut out like this.
You can give him a couple routes to run rather than just a deep sideline goes. You got to give him an opportunity to make a play.
Everybody gets a chance to dry off. The Jets get the ball to start the second half. The radar shows the rain continuing for a little while. 9-0 Jets at the break. Here's Chris Berman with the Toyota halftime show. Boomer. Storylines going in were pretty sweet, pretty interesting, pretty exciting. The first half wasn't, to be very honest. Defense was good, but the offenses did not play that well. 9-0 Jets set for the third quarter. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski. What do the Vikings do to kickstart this thing on the offensive side?
Well, hopefully they improve on their pass protection. They had 2 weeks to get ready for the Jets defense. Well, maybe the 15 minutes at halftime will help them because they did not pick up a blitz in that first half. And maybe a screen, maybe a draw, something to get the ball on the perimeter.
All right, for the Jets now, what can they do? They get the ball here to start the second half.
Well, if I'm the Jets, I'd take this opening drive down the field and score. I stomp on these guys and get them out of here. This is a perfect opportunity to put this game away right now, right out of the chute.
Because Minnesota has not shown anything. As a matter of fact, the Jets have spent most of their half in Minnesota territory, and only 9 points to show for it, so the Vikings defense has kept them in it. There's a Viking team that is 1-2. They lost the opener at New Orleans 14-9, lost to Miami 14-10, bounced back to beat Detroit at home 15 days ago 24-10. As for the weather, the heavy stuff is through. Our report tells us that we'll have light to moderate rain here through the remainder of the evening. Brian Longwell kicks it off. Short kick, fielded at the 15-yard line by Dwight Lowry. Does a nice job with his return as he's brought down at the 30-yard line by Lito Shepherd. Look at these first half stats. The first one's an odd one. Plays in the opponent's territory. The Jets ran 28. The Vikings ran 21 plays in the whole half. Gives you an idea of how dominant the Jets were. A 4-to-1 ratio of first downs, time of possession. So all that's great, but still it's 9-0. And you credit Minnesota's defense, which is what this defense does, John. It kind of gives you 4 and 3 and 4 in the back end, and they've held up pretty well in the red zone.
And we said that coming in here. This is one of the top scoring defenses in all of football. Every yard you make, if you're a New York Jet, you earn.
Tomlinson is the back. Sanchez is on his back. Brought down by Ray Edwards. Second great play by Edwards tonight. Big loss.
That was a bootleg to start the half, and it does not fool Ray Edwards. And Sanchez is shaken up a little bit. Take a look at this. They're going to come on a naked bootleg back to the right, and Ray Edwards is supposed to close when the tackle blocks down. That did not happen. Sanchez had no chance.
That play worked in the first half for a nice gain.
Not there. After the loss at centers, Tomlinson, 61 yards in the first half, 1 there, 3rd and long coming up.
Yeah, Sanchez had a really nice first half, and Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator, did a nice job with his play calling. Here the movement, bootleg, you'll see the extension of the ball. That freezes the defense, and now Sanchez gets out in the perimeter, and he's growing as a quarterback. You'll see here, looking to the right. Nothing there. Comes back to the left. Has to buy a little time to wait for Holmes to come into that seam, and he does by stepping up in the pocket. Each week you see Mark Sanchez get a little bit better and a little bit more understanding of the quarterback position at this level.
Screen to Tomlinson. Ben Lieber reads it, and right out of the gate, Minnesota's defense makes the response.
Well, these Vikings are very heady football players. They played together a long time. It's a screen pass. Lieber sees it the whole way. Good pursuit by this defensive line. That's a huge stop by the Viking defense. If Camarillo can just get the Vikings some needed field position.
Weatherford with the kick. 52 yards taken by Greg Camarillo at the 30. Trying to get to the wall on the outside. Got a big block and taking it out near midfield. So that's good field position for Minnesota to start this second half. Now, what can Favre and Moss do? They haven't done anything tonight. Favre and the Vikings take over in Jets territory. Lost the handle. Ball booted around. Loose on the ground. Picked up by the Jets and Darrelle Revis. At the 46 of the Vikings. Wow.
It's a comedy of errors by the Vikings right now. And Brett Favre, obviously, not feeling good about that one. That one just, he never had the football.
And that's the record, guys. So the most fumbles in a career by one player.
Well, this can't happen. You've got great field position. The snap was clean. The ball just fell out of Brett's hands. 2 costly turnovers on fumbled exchanges at midfield in a 9-0 game.
Just slipped right out of his hand there, John. He was trying to extend it for the handoff.
That's again in Viking territory. Again, their defense has to respond. Sean Green with a gain of only a couple of yards, you know, and with all the stuff that we've talked about during the week with Favre, the investigation that's pending with the NFL, I'm sure people are watching Favre struggle and say, is he mentally into the game? Is he distracted in any way? Any of those issues? So far, their offense is entirely protection, everything else been bad. Favre has been right there with it, and there's no way to quantify that. You have no idea. Only he could tell you, and he might not be able to give you a direct answer. But clearly, to this point, Favre right at the head of the class. Minnesota's offense hasn't done a good job. Sean Green, a nice cut to first down, 35-yard line of the Vikings.
I think the Jets are intent right now on closing the deal. This is just a zone blocking play right off the left side behind Ferguson and Slauson on the left side. There's that ghost around the top, but it's the backside blocking that makes this zone blocking scheme go for the New York Jets. It allows Sean Green to press it and cut it back. The Jets block the backside of these zone plays as well as any team in football.
Green again. Backs they have with what Green does and what Tomlinson does.
Yeah, 1-2 punch they have now. You know, Sean Green is more of a power runner. You know, he'll get behind his pads and he'll move the pile. LaDainian more of the elusive guy, the lateral agility. But this is a tough combination when these two guys get going, because they can thump you and they can use that speed and agility. Offensive line, John, you mentioned a couple times, they've been outstanding.
Carried it 19 yards on the drive. Now give Tomlinson a whirl. LT for the first down at the 23-yard line, John.
It's fun calling plays when you got backs like this. LaDainian and Tomlinson, come on in. Play for the Jets. How about a quick trap? Right up one-on-one in a hole with Ben Lieber. There's your jump cut. Get Tomlinson out in the second window. Then they run a trap scheme. They don't even block. Kevin Williams, whoop, there comes the left guard. Kicks him out, and off LT goes. These are well-blocked plays, but the Jets have two outstanding backs, and they're both distinctly different. Green is a hammer, and this guy can do just about anything in a football uniform.
Tomlinson to the left. They gain 4 yards, going to take the Jets over 100 rushing yards here tonight. And that was a little bit of what we set up at the very beginning here tonight. The Jets offense so good running the ball, led the league last year in rushing yards at 172 a game. Here they are 103 yards tonight. That number is since 2009, so it takes last year and this season. The Vikings haven't allowed 150 yards rushing from a team in 51 games. That's second all-time in league history. And the Jets have 103 here tonight. They got a chance to get that. Tomlinson taken out of bounds.
But you know, it's Bill Callahan, Brian Schottenheimer. It's a lot of different plays. There's zone blocking plays, gap blocking plays, single back runs, two back runs, unbalanced lines. They do it all.
It's that area of the field where Dustin Keller becomes the go-to guy for Mark Sanchez. They like the movement in this area of the field. Get him outside the pocket with the bootlegs and the nakeds. Try to buy a little time, let Keller work his magic down the field.
Well, after all runs, they'll empty the backfield on 3rd and 3. Sanchez looking to his security blanket, but Dustin Keller couldn't hang on. He only has 1 catch tonight and another field goal attempt and another small victory by the Vikings defense.
That's tough on Dustin Keller. When you're a tight end, boy, you'd like to be able to see the ball leave the quarterback's hands. I thought Mark was a little bit quick right there. Take a look at Keller. The ball's going to be gone before he turns and it gets in on him. That's something we always told our quarterback, Jaws. Let the tight end see the throw. Let him see it leave your hand. He can make the adjustment. Another good get off the field by the Viking defense.
And Folk continues his perfect night. Good from 34. His 4th field goal. Bart was going to the gloves to see what he and the Vikings can do. Okay, back in New Jersey, 12-0 while we were away. A couple of lightning bolts striking around the stadium, and we can tell you that Pete Morelli, the referee, was discussion with the other folks in control of the game here tonight about the storm, more rain coming in. Well, Brett Favre's been sitting on these numbers for a while. Didn't need much, only 1 touchdown and 74 yards tonight to hit those milestones. 500 touchdowns, 70,000 yards. But it's been such a poor first half. Still hasn't hit them. Percy Harvin, kickoff return. Won't get to the 20. Here's Susie Culver down in the rainy field. Suze?
Well, Brad Childress told me after the half, Brett Favre's elbow is fine. He didn't question his velocity. He questions his ability to hold on to the snap. He said we need to make our own rhythm, and that the Jets defense hasn't presented anything that they didn't expect, which he said is what makes this damn disappointing. But thank goodness we have the second half to fix it. Mike, so far, not off to such a great start.
Not at all, Suze. As the rain comes down a bit heavier, the Jets have an injury to deal with. Drew Coleman, who has sacked Favre already once here tonight, and had another good pressure on Brett, is injured. As they look at him, will step out. Rainy Meadowlands. Drew Coleman helped off. Favre and the Vikings take over at their own 18-yard line. And it's Toby Gerhart hit by Jim Leonard, then knocked down. Gerhart gets out to the 24-yard line.
Oh, you come out 3 tight ends and 1 back, and the back isn't Adrian Peterson.
Aiden coming back on the field now.
I can't remember AP's last carry of the night.
8 carries, 34 yards, and a quiet night for Peterson thus far. Long carry, 15 yards. It's the second longest play. The Vikings have a 19-yarder to Percy Harvin. That's it. Their longest pass completion of the year has been 33 yards. Peterson seeking space. He's going to get about 2.5. And the other thing is, this is not an easy defense to run against. I think the Vikings defense is good. The guys in green are just as.
No, we've been studying the Jets for the last month. There are no holes in this defense. You're looking at Ellis right there, Sean Ellis. Try running the ball with him in there. He's been one of the top run stuffers in all of football for 11 years. Look at Buuha. This guy, nobody knows who he is. I just said it. I've been practicing his pronunciation. This guy will rock you as well. And when you throw the ball, you're throwing into the best secondary in the National Football League. Good luck.
3rd and 3 is a far throw for Schenko. Incomplete. Covered by Kyle Wilson. 3 and out again from Minnesota.
And these plays have no chance, Mike. I mean, the protection is not there. The routes are covered. It's just too easy for the Jet defense.
Well, watch Kyle Wilson right there. I mean, it was like he was in the huddle. And, you know, see Brett Favre had trouble getting the snap once again. But it's like, you know, the secondary for the Jets knows what plays are coming. They're jumping the routes.
He'll be sure-handed here on a punt catch in the rain. And a driving kick of 58 yards. Jim Leonard from the 17. They'll be brought down at the 23-yard line. Well, the snaps have been a problem. You guys have pointed it out with John Sullivan out. Ryan Cook has been in there. Favre fumbled one earlier. Kind of hang it in and try to hang on. Everything going wrong for the Vikes. We say with slight trepidation, the heaviest stuff is gone for probably the balance of the game. And some folks have stayed. These Viking fans who put a lot of work into their costume. Miserable. 8 possessions for the Vikings. 8 full possessions. 6 punts and 2 fumbles. They had a kneel down at the end of the half. Sanchez handing to Green. Going right. He gains a couple of yards. You know, John, I'm thinking of the Jets. And one of the big problems with the rookie Mark Sanchez last year, turnovers. He hasn't turned it over at all in 4.5 games this year.
He's done a phenomenal job of taking care of the ball. And if I was a head coach, this would be a time I'd walk up to him and say, hey, Mark, you've done a great job protecting the ball. But the only chance Minnesota has is if we do something foolish with it. Just take care of the ball in these conditions. Punting is not the worst thing that could happen to us right now.
Do not give the Vikings a short field the way the defense is playing.
Gets flexed out the running backs wide, so they go empty for Tomlinson. Downfield, incomplete, with Ben Lieber step for step with him in coverage.
That's where the dummy snap count helps you. They motion LaDainian Tomlinson out wide as a receiver. And Ben Lieber bumps out to cover him and bump and run man-to-man. You be the quarterback. Here goes Tomlinson. And watch Ben Lieber go out and cover him. Well, Sanchez says, hey, wait a second. This is too good to be true. I'm just going to look off the free safety, give him a shot.
You can just see how the ball came out of Mark's hand. It's hard to spin it right now. It's pretty wet.
3rd and 8. Vikings rush 4. Sanchez throw is high, and it's almost intercepted by Antoine Winfield.
I'm really surprised that the Jets took that route right there. That's too risky. That should have been a slam dunk interception. This one gets away from Sanchez. The weather is horrific. The ball's slippery. Punt the football. Get on with the game. Make the Vikings show that they can score on you.
They certainly haven't shown that they can even get a first down, let alone score. Sorry to be so cruel, but it's obvious. You can't get anything.
Picking up Weatherford. Gets it out of there. 47-yard punt. Fair caught by Camarillo at the 28-yard line. If you're a big fan of punting, it's been a great night tonight. Owner, chairman of the Vikings, Ziggy Wolf, Mark Wolf, owner and president as well, both New York natives. So this is a big game for them to watch their Vikings come to the Jets. They have 100-plus family members here. They are part of the group that went all in here, spending money, trying to get this Viking franchise going in the right direction. Pass to Percy Harvin is complete for a first down. This is a Minnesota team that has spent money to get people, including Randy Moss here and Favre, and now they're trying to get something out of it. Finally, a first down and no huddle here. Peterson goes back to the line of scrimmage and gains nothing. There are a lot of things at work here with this Minnesota Viking franchise, including their hopes for a new stadium. They've been working on that for a long time since the Wolves took over. They want a product that's going to be good, so the political climate would be great to have Childress, who's won 2 more games in each of his 4 full seasons, get this thing kind of turned going to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, get a new stadium built, all those things. But right now, everything put into the mix is just not working.
You have to respect they're making the effort to win.
Favre going to take a shot downfield for Moss, who goes up and doesn't come close. With Cromartie with him step for step, and it's been Cromartie with Moss all night.
Boy, this Antonio Cromartie, let's give him credit. We've talked about Randy a lot tonight, but Antonio Cromartie says, hey, I'll cover you and bump and run. Just a post pattern, and Cromartie does a nice job of finding the ball. And I love his ball skills. This guy's intercepted a lot of passes, Antonio Cromartie, but that size matchup really helps him.
And for those of you counting, John, 10 attempts by Favre tonight, 4 of them targeted to Moss. Just 1 completion. Delay game.
Delay of game.
Wow.
Offense. 5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down. Please set the game clock to 5:10.
It happens a lot when you throw a bomb down the field to a receiver. Most of the time you go get him. You bring another receiver in. That time Randy came all the way back. Play got in late. Just a terrible penalty. 3rd and 15. This is a hopeless situation against this defense.
Yeah, you run the inside trap probably. Instead of going to run it on 3rd and long. See if they do.
Look out. Favre stops on a dime. Throws back complete for the first down to Moss at midfield. First 3rd down conversion of the night for Minnesota.
Maybe Brett Favre has a little bit of magic left on Monday night. He kept the play alive here. You'll see they're blocking this up, giving him time. He moves outside the pocket. Made a terrific move on Eric Smith to get the ball out. Randy Moss working downfield. Nothing. He's covered.
After the gain of 16, Favre to the tight end. Schenko gets 7 yards. Is the best drive of the Viking night.
We had a game last year against Chicago, very similar. The Vikings sluggish, did not look good, and all of a sudden the legend finds a hot hand, and when it gets hot, it can be magical.
Deepest into Jet territory they have been tonight. Flag down. Peterson around the edge, down the sideline, and out of bounds. Let's check the flag.
I think Percy Harvin covered the tight end.
Yep, he did, John.
And that's a ridiculous offensive penalty.
Inexcusable.
There are 2 fouls on the play by the offense. Illegal formation. Number 12 covered up number tight end. Holding, number 40. That penalty be enforced. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous. This is the National Football League. You have to be off the ball if the tight end is on the ball. That's an illegal formation that you go over day one in training camp. Offensive penalties. The Vikings started the game that way, and it almost looks like they're going to finish the game that way. That's inexcusable by Percy Harvin. He's no longer a rookie.
Second and 12. Favre's throw again for Moss. Again Cromartie with the breakup. And it's interesting because Cromartie ended up playing Moss really only because Revis pulled his hamstring at the end of the first half of the Patriots game in week 2.
How many draft choices did they give up to get Cromartie? How many guys line up toe-to-toe with Randy Moss and throw a no-hitter? Jaws, those are great plays. This guy's fearless. He's going up and making tremendous plays.
He is Velcro to Randy Moss right now. There is absolutely no separation. What a job tonight by Antonio Cromartie. He showed up tonight.
Jets pressure from Favre's right. It's picked up, and Favre laser to Harvin, who hangs on as Favre goes over 70,000 passing yards with a first down gain of 22.
Boy, what a great pickup by the Vikings. Brett Favre uses a dummy snap count, and the Vikings see the overload blitz coming the whole way. Take a look at the outstanding pickup. You're going to see a bunch of New York Jets coming to your right, and the Vikings slide into it and pick it up to give Brett Favre a chance.
John, I like the fact two backs in the backfield. It's a lot harder to blitz when you have two backs in the backfield because they can slide either way. Nice change at halftime to pick it up.
Pocket collapsing. Peterson releasing. Pass incomplete. As Favre is knocked down, Jason Taylor. One of the guys that knocked him down as Brett puts the shoulder pads back in gear. So we mentioned he needed 74 yards coming in tonight. He has 88 now, so he's the only player in NFL history with 70,000 career passing yards.
You have to applaud that. I can't even fathom that. It is amazing. Amazing. 70,000 yards.
Picked up 3 first downs on this drive. Peterson going to see third and long again. Bart Scott and David Harris as inside backers brought AP down. Well, to give you an idea of amazing, we think of Marino's unbelievable total. It's almost 9,000 more than Dan. Peyton Manning still has the odometer clicking at 51,000 plus.
That's 40 miles, Ron. 70,000 miles, but a big third down right here for the Vikings. And you have to wonder, are they in 4-down territory?
They're going to block this up to the right, John. Try to get a 2-receiver route up top. There you go, boy.
False start.
False start. Number 40 of the offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Second penalty of the drive, third tonight on Jim Kleinsasser. He's been here the longest of these Vikings, 12 years.
It's hard to watch. These penalties are just killing the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, it's a very disappointing offensive effort from a team with an offensive head coach and a lot of talent on this side of the ball, too. Here's the pressure. Favre, jump ball, Moss. Got this one! The 500th career touchdown pass by Brett Favre. And it's the first Favre to Moss. doing nothing essentially for 3 quarters. What we said, is there a play or two, and it's a jump ball, and Randy does what he has done so often, as he's become number 2 on the all-time touchdown reception list. Go up and get a jump ball.
Randy finally got a step on the coverage, and Brett Favre threw a rainbow that dropped from the sky. A perfect throw for his 500th touchdown pass. Congratulations.
Ryan Longwell's extra point. And after picking up 3 first downs the whole game, they had 4 on that drive to make it a 5-point deficit.
Well, it's 3rd and 16. And the New York Jets are going to blitz and leave Randy Moss one more shot at one-on-one coverage. I'm shocked that they blitzed and gave Moss this opportunity on 3rd and 17. It's a great throw. Moss got outside position on the release. He got a step, but Brett Favre makes a sensational throw. But pressure on 3rd and 17 in this situation, I'm shocked.
Don, the key is the arc. That ball just dropped down. A few earlier throws, Favre was throwing him a little bit flat. Watch this ball just drop out of the sky like the raindrops have been dropping all night right into the hands of Randy Moss. And you don't think this guy's excited? 500th career touchdown pass.
I'll tell you who's excited is the Minnesota Viking defense. They just got rejuvenated, and they know now, hey, if we get one stop, we got Brett Favre, we have Randy Moss, and we don't want to forget about Peterson either. But this Viking sideline is recharged. One play can do that for you in a tight football game.
That was the kind of pass we've come accustomed to seeing Moss catch and Favre throw. Those types of plays. From deep, Brad Smith choosing to take it out. And with big room, Smith past the kicker. And down the sideline, Brad Smith. Inside the 20-yard line. Smith, who had the 106-yard kickoff return against the Colts last year, almost duplicated the feat. An 86-yard kickoff return.
Is there anything this guy can't do? He can run, he can throw, he can catch. And what a big kickoff return this is for the New York Jets. And what an amazing job by Mike Westhoff's kickoff return team. There was a huge seam. They gashed the Vikings cover team, and what an alley to run for Brad Smith.
Jets take over in the red zone. Boy, that takes any of the air that went into the Minnesota balloon back out. Tomlinson with the game for about a yard. So that Favre moment that electrified the Vikings sideline, the perspective on it here. There are only 3 guys in the 300 club. Peyton Manning, France Arkenton, who was traded and returned back to the Vikings, and Elway. Marino's the only one in the 400 club now, as Favre moves from that to the highest, if you will, rent district, throwing touchdown pass number 500, and going to greet Randy Moss. First time they have connected in their very first game together. Sanchez with a response to Braylon Edwards. Terrific coverage by Cedric Griffin, the guy who tore his ACL in the NFC Championship game last year. Second game back.
They've gone to Braylon Edwards several times down the field. That time another dummy count. They see single coverage. Braylon Edwards against Cedric Griffin. Ball's up in the air, and Griffin is a big corner. They like Cedric Griffin. They're thrilled to have him back. Remember, he had a horrific knee injury in the NFC Championship game. Big third down.
After a good start, Sanchez, one of his last 8. Vikings bring the heat. There's Jericho Cotchery, who caught it, but he's short of the first down. Asher Allen pushed him out of bounds, and we'll have about a 30-yard field goal attempt for the Jets.
The Vikings are not a high percentage blitz team, but they have chosen tonight to get after Mark Sanchez. Sanchez did a real nice job of understanding, got rid of the football, didn't take a sack, didn't turn the ball over, picked up about 6 yards to set up a short field goal.
I can't say enough about this Minnesota Viking defense.
Yeah.
They've given up some yards. They've given up a few plays here and there, but they've been put in some tough positions by their offense. Once again, a key stop.
31-yard attempt for Nick Folk. 5 for 5 is all the Jets scoring. It's an 8-point New York lead with a minute left here in the third quarter.
Let Brett Favre hang around. You let him hang around, he's going to make a play.
Well, we see Moss there with the one glove on the face mask, not the trademark 2 that he usually has. Talk about Randy Moss and coming back to Minnesota. Remember his first 7 years, he and Chris Carter, what a 1-2 combo. His first year in Minnesota, they had the best scoring offense in the National Football League. He scored 90 touchdowns. Then 2 really lost years with disappointing Oakland teams that won a total of 6 games. When he comes to the Patriots, his first year there was the big splash, the 16-0 season, the record offense with Tom Brady, and all those touchdowns he produced. As the trade happened, you kind of remember Randy, when he arrived in Minnesota and arrived in New England, was part of 2 of the best offenses of all time that never won the Super Bowl. The 15-1 Vikings that lost the championship game, 16-0 Pats that got to the Super Bowl and lost to the Giants. Question now is what kind of an impact can he have on Minnesota? And that was a little bit of the instant impact on the last drive, Ron.
Well, there's no question. He's the kind of guy, you just got to keep feeding him the football when you get the opportunity. He's going to make a play. He's an amazing wide receiver. You think he's just not showing up, and all of a sudden, there you get the opportunity, comes up with the big play for the Vikings.
Lead is 8. Harvin's going to have to run up and get this short kickoff at the 17. Trying to crack through that seam, and he goes to the 36-yard line and brought down there as the post-play pushing and shoving.
Well, you'll see right here. Look at Cromartie. They're shoulder to shoulder, but this is just a perfect throw. Cromartie's in good position right there, and FB has no chance to make a play. Again, it's the rainbow kind of throw. A little jostling here, but look at the vision. And that ball just drops right into his hands. Almost knew where the ball was coming, kind of shielded Cromartie a little bit so he couldn't make that contact and get his jump where he could knock the ball away. That's a coy wide receiver understanding how to play a defender when the ball is in the air.
Cromartie right back over here to cover him from the 35-yard line. Favre and the Vikings. Peterson turned the corner. Adrian Peterson takes it to the 36-yard line for a big Minnesota game.
And look at Brett Favre. He is jacked up. Adrian Peterson gets the corner. It's a nice job by Shanko on the point of attack. This big guy can run. That's all he did in the offseason was work on his speed, if you can believe that.
Why? I think he's pretty fast.
Peterson with a 30-yard run. He was 11 carries for 33 yards to that point. But that big one puts the Vikings at the 35 of the Jets as we get to the fourth quarter. So after a sleepy 2.5 quarters, this thing wakes up. No excitement for the fourth. Jets by 8 on Monday Night Football. Brett Favre's been a staple on Monday Night Football over the years. His Vikings team down 8 as the fourth quarter begins. Adrian Peterson off a 30-yard run, running through people for about 10 and a first down.
Oh, I like that run right there. This guy, Adrian Peterson, when he takes the ball, he's running full speed downhill. And he can make you miss, I said it before, and he can knock you out. And if I'm Darrelle Revis, I might stick to covering guys when he gets around me. Adrian Peterson will hammer you. And that's an impressive start to the fourth quarter.
And I like the formation. They had a couple tight ends in that right side. You know, they didn't get that short corner of the Jets defense, and they got Peterson going downhill. Now they spread it out.
Rodney Poole came out for the Jets secondary. Eric Smith is in at safety. 3 in a row, Peterson. Gain of a couple of yards. You saw Revis on the last play. The Jets defensive lineman there going for the ball. Fumbling had been a huge problem in Peterson's past. He has not put it on the turf thus far this year.
Well, he must have said it 20 times in our meeting last night. High and tight. You know, he is not going to fumble the football. You know, when you look at Adrian Peterson historically, it's when he's been fighting for yards. You know, that's the kind of player he is. He runs like every play is the last play of his career. Sometimes you get him have the ball pop out.
Second and 8. Favre looking to Moss. He and Cromartie tangle and a penalty marker thrown.
That one could go either way.
Pass interference. Number 84 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Second down.
You'll see it right here. Once again, Moss on the matchup with Cromartie. The ball's in the air, and he just pulls him down. Easy call for the officials, but you know what? Sometimes you never know what these pass interference calls.
Yeah, but you tell your wide receiver, look, if you don't catch it, you make sure he doesn't catch it. And that ball clearly gave Randy Moss no chance. He became the defender there. Costly penalty, but it's better than giving Cromartie a chance to make a play.
Rodney Poole back in. The starting safety for the Jets was out a couple of snaps. Second down and long. Third down and longer. Mike DeVito and Sione Boua there on the play.
Here's an interesting call for the Jets. Last time they had the Vikings in this same field position on 3rd down and 16, they came with the blitz. I'd be surprised if they came with significant pressure here. Big call.
I would never be surprised from Rex Ryan. He's an aggressive dude, man. He's going to attack. That's how he plays the game.
Moss, bottom of the screen. Pressure comes. Far for Harvin. In stride. Percy Harvin. Touchdown.
What a throw.
You believe this guy?
What? I mean, this is just incredible, this throw.
Vikings will go for 2 to try to tie the game. Favre doesn't know it yet. Now he finds out and gets him back toward the huddle.
It's a blitz again. Randy clears it out. The clear out's going to come on your left side of the screen, and Favre jumps and throws a bullet to Percy Harvin.
The anticipation was just incredible. He had to throw that ball so early because the pressure was on him. He threw Percy Harvin open on that play. They're going to kick it now. They're making it a 1 point. Try to make it a 1-point game.
Changed their mind there. We mentioned Rodney Poole was in and out on that drive trying to catch up to Harvin. You got no shot even if you're feeling great. But the impact of Moss we've seen back-to-back. One going up and just catching the ball throwing, and that time after it's cleared out. We have a timeout taken here before the try. 2-point game. Vikings call the timeout, change their mind, decide to go for 2. Favre has Fahu Tahi, the fullback, didn't throw it, spinning, throwing, and it's incomplete essentially. There's no college football. You can't take it back for 2. So it'll remain 15-13. Thought he had the fullback Tahi open right away.
Couldn't agree more, Mike. He was open there quick. The timing of the route, the Brett had a little pressure, but I think quickly could have got the ball out in the flat. You'll see it right here. He comes out. Now he boots out. Look at Tahi open right at the goal line.
How about the move on Vernon Golston, though? I mean, this guy's unbelievable. I mean, say what you want. We got a lot of football left.
What was interesting here, just from a time management as the game goes on standpoint, the Vikings sideline was originally calling to go for 2. Then they decide to go for the extra point. The play clock hadn't started yet, and then they'd stop it, take time out to come back and go for 2 and don't get it. So it's a wasted time. It's a wasted timeout with that question and indecision there. So keep that in the back of your mind. They're down a timeout for the rest of the quarter.
This Viking team did nothing for almost 3 quarters, and look at this. It's 15-13, right in the thick of this thing. Just incredible turnaround. Brett Favre, Monday night.
Oh, you blitzed Brett Favre on 3rd down.
What did I
16,
tell you? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? You don't listen to me.
Well, that guy's got it. He's still 501 touchdown passes. All right.
They hit a 3rd and 17 for the Moss touchdown, a 3rd and 19 for the Harvin 34-yard touchdown. Big kick return a moment ago for Brad Smith. Big hit this time on Brad Smith by Anatolu. Kenny's become a very good special teamer, the linebacker they brought in 2 years ago. Here is what has completely turned around a dormant Minnesota offense. If you're just tuning in. 3rd and 17, pressure comes. Moss, touchdown pass 500 for Favre. 3rd and 19, pressure doesn't get there. Harvin with Revis and Poole trying to chase and unable to accelerate together. Touchdown 501. Vikings go for 2 and miss. 2-point lead, New York. Mark Sanchez will throw. Well covered is Pottery by Antoine Winfield. But Jericho got it right about the 28-yard line.
It's time now for this Jets offense to calm this thing down. You know, their defense is reeling a bit right now. Sanchez has to come back in this game now, take command of this offense, sustain some offense, keep his defense on the field so they can take a win. They're reeling right now from Brett Favre's assault.
Jared Allen, the sack master, continues to be quiet. Top of your screen. Run the other way with Tomlinson. Good hit by Mediu Williams and Kevin Williams, unrelated. And they make a tackle right at the marker.
I can see why the Jets have run a few traps to slow this guy, Kevin Williams, down. This is 6'5", 320 pounds coming right at you. Very impressive run by LaDainian Tomlinson. But these Minnesota Vikings, these front four, Kevin Williams, Pat Williams, Ray Edwards, and Jared Allen, scary.
Measurement coming here.
A little short from our vantage point. Here's my eyewear still works.
This is one area when you're calling plays like Brian Schottenheimer is right now, you don't know what front the Minnesota Vikings are going to get into. They've gotten into their goal line defense in third down and short situations in the past. But this is one area that the Minnesota Vikings have dominated football in years past, short yardage defense.
As a guy who used to wear a Viking uniform on the offensive side for the Jets, who's the fullback, Tony Richardson, who has been the lead blocker for many a great running back. He's been involved in many third and short collisions, and 49 likely to be in one here.
I like running to the right in these situations.
Richardson leads. Sean Green gets the first down at the 33-yard line.
And I say that because you got big old Brandon Moore who can really knock you off the ball, and Damian Woody. Those guys know how to drive block. In short yardage situations, that's where they will run the football, right over those two offensive linemen on the right side of Nick Mangold. And you'll see it right here, those tight splits. Boy, and they come blown up in there, and Tony Richardson, nice block, pick up the first down.
Justin Keller, 39. D. Williams first, Asher Allen second. Tackle.
You just get the feeling that this Minnesota Viking defense has to be wearing down. They've been out here a lot tonight. They just don't give up big plays. They're sure tacklers, whether they're in their base defense or their nickel defense. They've done a nice job tonight, not giving up any real big plays to this explosive Jet offense.
Well, that's what they do. They play that cover two defense. They don't give up a lot of big plays, and they rally to the football.
Vikings, a lot of guys in the box. Sanchez, nothing open, scrambling. There were bullets of Braylon Edwards, who's about a yard away from him. Here's the game. We have a Viking injured on the play. And that's Cedric Griffin. That's the worst that you can see. Griffin tore the ACL in his left knee we talked about in the NFC Championship game. Just his second game back.
Oh, I hate to see this.
Yeah. I hope it's not a knee again. You don't know. You see the frustration on Griffin's face after all the work he's done to come back from that injury. We'll step out for a second. Cedric Griffin helped off the field, looking at him behind the Vikings bench. Sanchez and the Jets, 3rd and 4. Comes back to the middle off the hands of Keller. It was high as Sanchez has not been as accurate here. Might have been deflected up front. Kevin Williams jumping up. And the Jets will punt it away with 9:40 to go.
Yeah, and Sanchez has really struggled in his second half. He only has 5 completions for a total of 15 yards. And the ball has been getting away on him just a little bit. Got away with a couple that had potentially interception written all over them.
Rick Camarillo back. Steve Weatherford to kick. Had a good punting night, Weatherford. 53 yards, fair caught by Camarillo at the 8. Favre, Moss, and Harvin have hit the last couple of drives. Vikings back in it, down 2 on the field. Circumstances different here tonight as Favre goes for his 20th win, trying to equal Dan Marino for the most in the history of Monday Night Football. Adrian Peterson cuts it up a yard short of the first down. Of course, there is the story of the NFL investigation with Favre and Michelle Tafoya and Chris Mortensen reporting earlier today that Ryan Longwell, the Vikings kicker, shared thoughts, and he's been a longtime teammate of Favre, of Brett, with a very emotional statement to his teammates before the game, or at their meeting this morning. He was apologizing for the distraction he may have caused and promised to come out and play as well as he could. Wasn't there for 3 quarters of the whole offense, but they picked it in here late third and into the fourth. Peterson's running's been a big part of that too, with the Jets called to it. Loss of a yard. Sean Ellis leading the 3rd down charge coming up.
That's a nice job by the Jet defense, setting the edge. They're going to come right at you. Again, the stretch play to the outside. Very good job by Brian Thomas, the outside linebacker, setting the edge, forcing that ball back inside where his friends are. 3rd and 2.
Just took Shanko and put him in the backfield. Boy, John, you're right. Brian Thomas was outstanding.
Jets didn't allow a 3rd down all week last week against Buffalo. Good part of this game tonight, but Minnesota has picked up the last 5. A bunch of Favre passes, and there Peterson with a run for the first down to the 23-yard line.
When you can reverse out and hand the ball to Adrian Peterson, and you got guys like Steve Hutchinson generating this push, but watch Peterson enter the line of scrimmage and just move the pile for a 5-yard run and a critical 3rd down conversion. It's nice to have Steve Hutchinson to run behind in a key 3rd down. He's only been to 7 straight Pro Bowls.
Halfway through the 4th. Play action. Shot for Moss with Cromartie covering. Randy couldn't pull it in at the 25-yard line.
Well, he had a step. And clearly Brett Favre, there's nothing wrong with his elbow and his tendonitis. He aired this one out. He had the one-on-one, and Brett will take his shot. Little stutter go right there. And once Moss gets a step on top, Brett's going to let it go. Needed to throw that ball a little bit more to the outside, and he had it. Brett got everything he had into this one.
60 yards in the air. An almost shot. Moss comes out of the game. Bernard Berrien replaces him. Favre, the slant for Harvin is incomplete.
Happening now, the offensive line is starting to get a little bit of a rhythm for what Brett Favre is doing back there. And you have Jan Cooper now in there playing that center position. It seems to have cleared up, you know, the exchanges that were malfunctioning earlier in the game, but pretty good throw just off the fingertips of Percy Harvin.
The Jets have put their speed package out here. They've got Pace at the top of the screen, Jason Taylor at the bottom, Trevor Price and Ellis inside. They're going to rush 4 and get after Favre.
They bring another one for pressure. Favre down the seam. Harvin could not convert, and the Vikings are stopped on 3rd down.
Well, that's one Brett Favre wants back. Percy Harvin right down the seam. He's in the slot. And Brett just underthrew this ball.
He knew it the minute it left his hand. He had the middle of the field open, just not an accurate throw.
Chris Kluge punts to Jim Leonard. Kick was 45. Fair caught by a frustrated Leonard who thought he had a chance to run with it a little bit. Brett bumming now. Brett bumming a moment ago. Maybe his Vikings will have 1 or 2 more shots at it. Down 2.
What's up, Stuart Scott with you. Sports Center next in the GMC postgame report. All the highlights and analysis and all the postgame interviews. Brett Favre, Randy Moss, all of them. Mark Sanchez, plus another baseball playoff is in the books. Mike?
Okay, Stuart, thank you. See you guys then. Cedric Griffin injured on the last drive for the Vikings. Right knee injury. His return doubtful. Asher Allen is playing corner at the top. Braylon Edwards came down into a big block. Tomlinson, he got hit. Boy, there were 4 massive collisions for a gain of about a yard.
What a play by E.J. Henderson, the middle linebacker of the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, this play has a chance to get outside, but watch E.J. Henderson launch himself to try to turn this play back. This E.J. Henderson had one of the most horrific injuries late last season I've seen. To see him back playing at this level, very exciting for the Minnesota Vikings. You got to love this guy.
Well, he actually tried to punch the ball out, flying through the air.
2nd and 9 for Mark Sanchez. Caught by Braylon Edwards across midfield for the first down into Minnesota territory.
That's a confident throw by Mark Sanchez. It's an old school pattern. I used to call this the NC2A route. Play action pass. Here comes Edwards on a deep square end from the left side of your screen. Ball's thrown number to number. Good throw. Nice route by Braylon. They're working on Asher Allen, the young corner. They're going to miss Cedric Griffin. They're already without Chris Cook, their 2nd-round draft choice, and Asher Allen is a primary target of the Jets tonight.
Longest pass play of the half. Takes the Jets to Viking territory. They give it to the guy coming around finally. Brad Smith lost a yard. Jared Allen been staying home. Makes the play with Madieu Williams.
Asher Allen did an excellent job right there. Maybe they're going after him in the passing game, but he played the run very well. Number 21, Asher Allen, coming in, did not get fooled by the reverse right here. Now you see him close on Brad Smith. Trips him up, and Cotry almost with a block in the back.
Nice effort by Jared Allen. Pursuing.
It's frustrating. You've been seeing that guy coming around all night as the fake.
Yeah.
Now I can finally actually
I'll
hit
get
you.
that ghost. I'll get the ghost.
Allen's got a half dozen tackles tonight. Sanchez quickly to Cotchery. Allen tackles him on the sideline right at the first down mark with 5 minutes to go.
Well, you talk about processing information. That's what Mark Sanchez did very quickly. He knew he had the isolation route one-on-one because the blitz was coming. And one area Sanchez has improved dramatically from a year ago is throwing to his left. That is majestic timing with the wide receiver,
Come on.
John. You got to love that.
He's finding Asher Allen. That's what he's doing. There's nothing majestic about it. Find 21 when it's single safety and throw at him.
Tomlinson with a seal and a run. And a first down. He lost the ball, but out of bounds. Tomlinson, who's incredibly safe with the ball.
I'd like to have LaDainian Tomlinson on your team when the game's on the line. You got an experienced offensive line. You got a feature back. Watch LaDainian Tomlinson burst through this hole, and there's that stiff arm right there. LaDainian Tomlinson. Nice run.
Loses the ball, but it does go out of bounds, and he fumbles about once a year.
Some confusion as the clock has been running or not. Sean Green says, take this. Touchdown, Jets.
These New York Jets, they know how to run the football. They've been running the weak lead, the weak lead, the weak lead. They come back with this wind back play, and it's blocked to perfection. A huge drive by the New York Jets.
Nine-point Jet lead.
This is when you question going for the 2 points early in that fourth quarter.
Well, here's the wind-back. Take a look at the flow's going to start to the left. Both the fullback and the tailback are going to start to the left, and they're going to bluff over here and set this block up for the fullback. But this play starts to the left, and Tomlinson's going to wind back behind his fullback, John Connor, the Terminator. That is as well blocked as I've ever seen. Sean Green.
That's the first rushing touchdown this year for Green, who went over 100 yards against Buffalo, and LaDainian Tomlinson, who is also over 100 yards last week against the Bills, has seen this Jets rushing offense against a very good Minnesota defense put up 154 rushing yards.
Well, LaDainian Tomlinson, Tony Richardson, they're mentoring this kid, Sean Green. A lot of people think this guy has it all. They think he can do it all in the National Football League. Had some fumbles, got off to a bad start, but LT and Tony Richardson really mentoring this young back.
And they've shared the carries pretty much evenly. A few more for Tomlinson tonight, but the ability to come back with Green here and give LT a break. That one carry that he takes for the touchdown. Set up as a big matchup tonight, and it's been advantage Jets. Vikings need it twice. They're down 9. Harvin. Right down in the middle of the field by the starting safety Leonard at the 45-yard line.
Guy's scary. Percy Harvin sets the Vikings up. It's a 2-possession game. The Vikings have 4 downs, and Percy Harvin does a nice job fielding this kickoff, pressing it right up the middle and then bouncing it to the outside. He picks up a couple good blocks. He has home run speed. It's a heck of a tackle by Jim Leonard. But the Vikings know they're in a 2-possession game. They have 4 downs. They'll go for it on 4th down. The field goal isn't necessarily out of the equation right now.
That's why the 2-point conversion is so critical. I'm of the belief you don't go for 2 unless you have to. If they kick the extra point, this would still be a 1-score game.
From the 44, Favre in trouble, and he's sacked. Big hit. Ellis was holding him up. Calvin Pace finished him off. We go no huddle here with time dwindling in Jaws. In addition to going for 2 instead of 1, they also burned a timeout because they didn't know what they were doing. Magnified now. Jets rush 5. Favre jump ball into the backfield. Peterson in the open field. To the 38-yard line, Adrian Peterson, gain of 21.
The awareness of Brett Favre is just incredible. Some of the plays he makes, there's pressure on him. He just has a feel that Adrian Peterson's going to be checking down, and he just drops it down to him for the first down.
Well, Randy can't play in the 2-minute drill for good reason. He probably just got here, and he doesn't know the entire playbook.
Favre throwing down the middle. It should be, let's see. It looked like the contact came early. No pass interference flag on Brodney Poole as he was covering Shanko.
John, you're talking about the playbook for Randy Moss. It's pretty much his playbook is a go route.
Let's take a look at it. Shanko on a basic cross.
Yeah, a little bit early. Got away with one there.
That's a penalty.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Brodney Poole got him there real early.
Well, you'd love to see Moss in this situation, but the plays, they probably haven't been practiced or rehearsed enough.
Far from the 39. Throwing and getting open. Greg Lewis out of bounds at the 6.
This guy's amazing. He looks down the hole, he pumps down the hole, and allows Greg Lewis to uncover.
Well, you don't get pressure on Brett Favre. He looks like he's looking at his throwing elbow, but Greg Lewis beats Revis right here. I don't know if Revis has help over the top or not. It looks like he does. But no pressure on Brett Favre. He finds time. He makes a perfect throw to Greg Lewis, who stops the clock. Plenty of time left in this game.
Remember, Lewis had the big touchdown in his first Viking game to beat San Francisco. And there's the shot you were alluding to, John. Favre with the tendonitis in the elbow, grabbing at it.
Yeah. Penalties again. Shanko.
They're going to call this on Taylor.
Maybe. Always one with a conversation. Who caused the other to happen? which action was the causing action.
False start. Number 81, the offense. 5-yard penalty remaining, first down.
You know, these penalties, but Jason Taylor is doing a nice job baiting both Brian McKinney and Shanko, and Randy Moss has entered the huddle.
Barr looking that way, throwing to the corner for Harvin, 2 feet down, yes! Touchdown, Vikings!
How about that throw? How about that throw? Rolling to his left. His elbow's bothering him, but
see the 2 feet. Catch. 1 foot down. Great job bringing the second down. All the way down. Possession of the ball. Great play by Harvin, because the force out's no longer a part of the league, and Leonard tried to push him out. Great stuff. Extra point, Longwell. 2-point game, just like that. 54 yards, 5 plays, a $121. Favre's third touchdown pass of the night. He continues to grab at that tendonitis bothering elbow.
Well, it's a corner route, and Favre gets it up just in time to give Percy Harvin a chance to find it and go get it. Great concentration. When the Vikings got Randy Moss, Brett Favre told me last night the first guy to pick it up was Percy Harvin. Moss walked in, he got Percy's attention, and he said Harvin really had his best 2 practices when Randy Moss showed up. They feeded off each other's energy. They both made big plays. And I expect the Vikings to kick the ball deep and trust their defense to get a 3-and-out stop.
you have to. Yep. Too much time left on the clock to onside it. 3:09 be risky. You know, their defense, except for that last drive, where it really sagged a little bit, has been very stout tonight. Now, what if you're the Minnesota Vikings, Brad Children, say, kick it deep. Let's put it in our defensive hands.
With 3:10 left and 2 timeouts, if you hold them to 3-and-out, you can get the ball back almost on this side of the 2-minute warning. So that's the clock management situation here. So they do kick Longwell to Brad Smith. Number 3, brought down. There you go. At the 22-yard line.
How about Brett Favre in the second half? Quiet in the first half, quiet in the third quarter, and he just exploded. 3rd and 17, he lays it right in there to Randy Moss. New ball game. Then it's the Percy Harvin off his back foot, a bullet. 3rd down and 19 for another score. How about this throw to the corner? Harvin goes up and gets it. He shredded New York for 3 touchdowns in the final 20 minutes of this game. Boy, I'd love to see him get the ball back with one more shot.
The Jets got to think, don't give that hot hand the football again.
3:03. The Jets have run it well on Minnesota tonight. Tomlinson first carry, 2 yards, Viking timeout. Brad Childress was stationed right next to the official on his sideline to stop the 2:59.
And this is a situation you practice in training camp every year. It's called the 4-minute drill. 4-minute offense against 4-minute defense. If we make a first down, the game is over. You tell your players to secure the ball, stay in bounds. And defensively, we've got to stop. But the New York Jets have a bunch of really good plays in this situation. One of them is a bootleg. I would not be surprised if they call a bootleg.
Well, the concern is if it's incomplete, now you're stopping the clock. You're playing into the hands of the Vikings. But I think a first down is more important.
If they don't get a first down, you got to give the ball back to this guy.
That's right.
So I think you're going to see a little bit more aggressive nature right here by the New York Jets as they call these plays. I don't think they want Brett Favre to have another chance.
Well, Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator of the Jets, has to dial up a couple plays right now that could determine the outcome of this game.
Will throw. Caught for a big first down by Santonio Holmes at the 35-yard line.
That's a gutsy call.
Quick throw.
They go after Lito Shepherd. Cedric Griffin's out of the game. They go right at his replacement. Lito Shepherd, and that's really trusting your young quarterback. This is a huge throw by Mark Sanchez. And Santonio Holmes. How nice is it to have Santonio Holmes in town to come in here and ice a football game? Outstanding play by the Jets.
Well, accuracy, accuracy, accuracy. That was the key right there. Good position by Lito Shepherd, but the ball was in perfect position where he could not go through Santonio Holmes. Boy, and you got to love the call by Brian Schottenheimer. You know, play calling's about probability, not certainty. You're hoping in that situation you can get the one-on-one on the outside and your receiver could win. Brian Schottenheimer felt he'd get the one-on-one and his receiver won.
They don't want to give the ball back to Favre.
Vikings out of timeouts, guys. They can still get the ball back with very little time. As long as the Jets don't help them stop it here. And by LT, no gain there. And as the play clock resets, Jets will have to run one more before the 2-minute warning.
That time the Jets ran the wind-back play, the same run they scored on earlier with Sean Green. Vikings played a different front. They rejected that.
The Jets would have had a play that would have taken a couple of more seconds. It would have got all the way down to the 2-minute warning. A few extra seconds there.
Critical.
Second and 11, a play where you can throw because of that 2-minute warning, except if that happens, incomplete, and that buys them a timeout. If you're going to do that, you got to run that play clock all the way down to the very end to ensure that you stop it at the 2-minute warning. So that's a clock management F on that play.
Wow. Wow.
Terrible.
An errant throw right now. Boy, you can see this just got away from Sanchez.
Now, forget that.
Yeah, I agree on that.
I mean,
but yeah.
Clock management, you don't need to know football to manage the clock. And that's a no-brainer. You just gave them a freebie. Hard to understand, and you watch games every week where guys screw that up royally. My goodness. 3rd and 11. Sanchez in trouble. Launching just to get rid of it. High and incomplete. And it will be 4th down at the 2-minute warning. And Brad Childress says, thank you very much for allowing us more time with Brett Favre, Randy Moss, and the ball. 2-minute warning at the Meadowlands. As the Jets' 3rd down play was going on, Randy Moss is there with offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell. I can run this play in the 2-minute. Can we do this, by the way, guys? We're going to get the ball back here, I think. Oh, here's the play back behind us. What's going to happen? All right. It's incomplete. Now, awesome? Let me get back to my play.
He wants to play in this drive right here. He's just trying to get a couple plays that he knows what to do on.
Weatherford hunting. Camarillo fair catch, 49 yards. Ryan Longwell is a good kicker. He can make a 50-yarder. He's got a great long leg. So can Brett Favre get him down the field about 45 yards without a timeout?
Well, here comes Randy Moss. They're going to have Greg Lewis in the ball game with Percy Harvin. They'll have 3 receivers. It'll be interesting to see if the Jets continue to blitz. I have a feeling you're going to see some 4-man rushes. 2 deep zones with man underneath, Jaws. And Brett Favre has 4 downs and plenty of time. Anything but a sack, and the Vikings, they're in good shape.
Well, Brett will work the middle of the field if he's going to get any opportunity to do that, because he'll get Percy Harvin.
With about 50 yards for field goal range, shot to Moss right away. Blanketed by Cromartie, 2nd down.
And they came with the heat, John.
I love the call right there by the Vikings, right out of the gate. That's why you made the trade to get Randy Moss. He's iced games before with playmaking at the end of football games. It's bump and run, man-to-man. There's no help over the top. And once again, Antonio Cromartie is finishing the night one-on-one with Randy Moss at crunch time. I love this game. Look at that matchup.
Timeout taken by the Jets. Jets timeout. Jets timeout. As I talked to George Stewart, who is the Vikings wide receiver coach earlier this week, about Moss, as he was going through all the things Moss can bring and trying to learn, he made one point. He said the biggest benefit for this could be Percy Harvin, because Percy Harvin can now go back to the slot where he's so effective. What's interesting in this matchup with Cromartie covering Moss, Percy Harvin's matched up here with Darrelle Revis.
And that's a tough matchup.
Yeah,
Darrelle Revis takes just about every wide receiver in this league and shuts him down. But you got to look at it this way. Darrelle Revis, when he's in that slot, he gives Percy Harvin a two-way go, the outside or the inside. And I think if the middle of that field opens up, I think you'll see Percy Harvin take the middle and Favre will take a shot, even with Darrelle Revis on him.
I think it's really important for the Vikings to get out of the huddle quickly. Let Brett Favre use his dummy snap count to recognize the coverage. When Favre recognizes the coverage, he knows exactly where to go with the football. Listen for the dummy snap count.
And you have the rookie, Kyle Wilson.
There you go, John. Favre's got time. Oh, the defender Revis fell down. Harvin had a ton of room, and they couldn't connect. Third down with 1:38 to go.
Oh, I think that's the ball game right there. Favre uses a dummy count. He sees the blitz. The blitz is picked up. And Harvin starts inside on an arrow route, just throws Revis out of the way. You can't see this back home, but this could have been a 40-yard game.
Yeah.
There's nobody left but Percy Harvin.
It could have been a touchdown. There's nobody back there unless Camardi comes off Moss and makes a play.
2 plays to get a first down. They are out of timeouts.
All out. This is all-out blitz.
Rex Ryan has everybody up right near the line of scrimmage. He was going to bring the house.
Encroachment. Number 92 defense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
You've been talking about the hard counts in Favre, and that's Sean Ellis, who was a teammate of Favre, said, we heard that in practice during 08. We were ready for that. Not there.
Oh, Brett sees the all-out blitz coming.
Look at that middle, wide open.
And he can't wait to lob this ball down to the post. 3rd and 5, they've got 2 downs.
We go. Quick count there. Favre's throw is intercepted. Sliding underneath Dwight Lowry. Touchdown. Game winner. On a night Favre threw 3 touchdowns, 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles. He set the all-time record for fumbles by a player. And the man who's thrown the most picks throws a pick 6 to Lowry. Folk makes it a 2-possession game. Dwight Lowry's moment in the sun, his first career NFL touchdown.
What a play. The Vikings have a tight slot, and you'll see Lowry covering Greg Lewis, who's going to run a little option route right here. And Lowry does an excellent job. Excuse me, Shanko just jumping the option route. He played the sticks. That's a route I'm sure the Jets have showed their defense throughout the week. Little option route to Shanko on 3rd and 5 to pick up the first down. And Dwight Lowry plays it perfectly. Got a great jump, drove on the ball, finished the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah,
But a heck of an effort by Brett Favre. It didn't look good at all for Minnesota. To have a chance to win inside of a minute, inside of 2 minutes, credit to the Vikings. But, boy, does Rex Ryan have some guts calling these blitzes.
Yeah, that's what he does. I mean, he's going to bring pressure.
I give him all the credit in the world. I mean, he gets an all-out blitz. He's calling all kinds of pressure. And he just counts on his guys to get it done, and they did again.
Well, even on a play where Percy Harvin was wide open just prior to the interception, Brett Favre missed him. That could have gone the other way, and it could have been a potential Vikings victory. But that's, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And for the Jets, it worked out well for them.
9 points, 90 seconds, no timeouts for the Vikings. Need a big return from Harvin. He's going to be brought down shy of the 25-yard line. So with Minnesota trailing by 9 and no timeouts, The Vikings are on the doorstep of 1-3. And who would have thought that the game next week in Minneapolis would be a pair of 1-3 teams? The Vikings play the Cowboys. If this score holds up, you want to talk about the panic button bowl. There you go. Once these guys hit a shot downfield. Shanko down the seam. Incomplete. Jim Leonard almost with the interception.
I think the Vikings, when they look at this tape, what'll really make them sick is they had some chances. They had some receivers open. Brett will know that. He made some brilliant throws down the stretch. But when he sees it, he's going to kick himself. He had Percy Harvin a couple times big.
Well, they're going to know down the road, you know, they're hopefully get Sidney Rice back. Randy Moss in this offense, along with Percy Harvin, DeSante Shanker, Adrian Peterson. They're looking at the end of the season if they can get through this tough stretch they're in right now.
Jason Taylor collapses the pocket. Favre's throw for Greg Lewis, incomplete.
David Harris just did Greg Lewis a favor.
We mentioned the Cowboys game coming up. Could be a battle of 1-3 teams. It's hard to believe. The Packers with all of their injuries, and then Randy returns to Foxborough to take on the Patriots. And it doesn't get easier. Cardinals 4-1 Bears. I mean, the one saving grace here for Minnesota is that even though Chicago's 4-1, Green Bay's 3-2, and there is no separation anywhere in the NFC. But you're running out of mulligans. You know what I mean? Three-man rush. Favre loads up for Moss out of bounds. Randy at the 44-yard line of first down.
You know the one thing about Brett Favre, he's going to keep firing. The guy just has amnesia, forgets the last play and moves on to the next play, and he'll try to make a play.
Those of you interested in the numbers, you see Favre's there. Moss, 4 catches, 81 yards and a touchdown tonight. 106, still no timeouts. Needing, and again, same deal here. You need a field goal and a touchdown. Underneath, Toby Gerhart drops the ball.
That's an area that's going to kill the Minnesota Vikings this year. They just have had a hard time the first month of the season finding a guy that can play in these situations. And maybe Toby will be that guy someday. But they have really struggled with the loss of Chester Taylor. And these are high percentage, must-have completions, Jaws, especially in a 2-minute drive.
Those are the chain movers. Those conversions from third down to first down are critical.
Two deep safeties.
Hit from behind, the ball is out. As Favre gets crunched by Jason Taylor. Minnesota recovers, the clock rolls.
How nice is it to have a guy like Jason Taylor coming off the bench as your third down specialist to finish football games.
Yeah, the active sack leader in the NFL.
Well, this is back, guys, to the role they hope to have Taylor in, not having to play every down at outside linebacker. Now with Calvin Pace back in, what a 3-man group they have. 4 sacks of number 4 tonight. Favre versus Shanko. It's caught at the 40. 42 seconds left. Powerless to stop.
Great competitor, this Brett Favre.
You know, he'll heave it to the end zone. Yeah, and he'll take a shot. That's the way he plays the game.
I love it.
Peterson, it's incomplete here with a couple of seconds left. Well, the Jets are going to move to 4-1. They go to Denver and they get their week off, so the Jets are in pretty good shape. We all get to reconvene in Jacksonville for Jacksonville and Tennessee. Battle of first-place teams currently in the all 3-2 AFC South. That'll be next Monday night. John and I will be working hard on the game all week. Jaws is off on a book tour.
Thank you.
Jaws has his new book with all the games that changed the game.
Games that change the game. And, hey, down the road, maybe this will be one of them.
Yeah. Some great stuff about Rex's dad, Buddy Ryan, and that. Final play for fantasy points, amongst other things. Incomplete, and it ends there, 29-20.
Sanchez a lot of credit.
These two teams went at each other for 60 minutes.
There's some great players right there. Jason Taylor, Brett Favre. What a warrior this guy is.
Bunch of Hall of Fame talent on the field on a night when the game was not played crisply. Moss's debut, his 4 catches, 81 yards, 1 touchdown. But one of the big stories will be the turnovers, 3 by the Vikings, and in a rainy night, none by the Jets, as they tie an NFL record 4 consecutive games without a turnover. Mark Sanchez, the guy who followed Brett Favre as the Jets quarterback, beats him in their first head-to-head as Favre hits the 500 mark, gets career touchdown 500, 501, 502, but his team loses 29-20. With Jaws, John, Susie Colbert, Mike Tirico, this has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. SportsCenter's next.
See you next week in Jacksonville.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.